Hello everyone. Am I live? I am not sure if I'm live. It does not look like it on my end, but there might just be a delay. So I'll wait a few minutes to see if... Okay, now I think I'm live. Anyone in the audience, can you hear me? Am I live? I don't see anyone in the audience. I know it's a very, very unorthodox hour for me to do a stream, but this was kind of a spur of the moment stream. Is anyone even in the audience? Oh, I see one. I see someone. All right, cool. All right, cool. Some people hear me. It's just me today. No other people are streaming with me today. Although, sometime a few days after Christmas, I'm doing a live stream with Estelle. We were going to do it before Christmas, but it never works out. All right, cool. Looks like you guys can hear me. I'll wait a few minutes and let some people funnel in. How's everyone doing on this lovely almost Christmas Eve, the eve of Christmas Eve? Everyone doing good? Having a good time? Having good times with your families and friends? And yeah, I see people commenting on the video in the background. Sorry, I got distracted from it. I'm really scatterbrained right now. What was I just gonna say? If it's not obvious by how I look in the camera, I'm really tired right now, so I apologize if I have some brain farts. I was just about to say something and it completely went out of my brain, but anyway, oh yeah, some people were... I'll get my face out of the way so you can check out if you haven't seen it yet, go look up the Crystal Shopping Spree video. I finished it. It was like, well, it's technically not done. It's only a little part of it. I released that segment of it a few weeks ago. I'm still working on the rest of it, but I need to wait for voiceovers to come in because I can't really do any lip syncing without the voiceovers from the actors yet. So there's still large chunks of this animation that are not done yet because I need the lines to do the lip syncing. All right, let's see how some of you guys are doing. See, I see some people are doing good. Crazy excited for the rest of the Soria arc. The Soria arc is released, unless you meant the voiceovers for it. Otherwise, the Soria is playable. You can go download it now and play all the Soria levels. So it's kind of done. It's just missing, a bunch of the voiceovers because the voice actors, they live all over the world and they all have their own schedules, and this isn't their full-time job like mine, so the rate that their voices come in is all over the place. So I finished all the levels before I get all the voiceovers in from everyone. But except for this animation I have in the background, I need voiceovers to finish doing the lip syncing, so it's not going to be done until I get their lines in. But anyway, hope everyone here has had a great Christmas and happy Hanukkah. Oh yeah, someone mentioned the cuts. There's still quite a few cutscenes for Soria I haven't done yet, but it's a similar, not similar. It's the exact scenario with this animation here. I need to wait for the lines to come in so I can animate. I can lip sync to their voices. I can't really do any animation of characters talking without the voiceovers. I mean, I could just do the lines myself and lip sync it to me, but if I do that, I still have to make changes when I finally get their voices in because they'll speak at a different rate or whatever than me. So I don't even bother animating anything that involves talking until I have the lines that I can lip sync to. So yes, I guess there's still more Soria stuff, the cinematics that need the voiceovers. I guess that's what you meant when you said you were looking forward to more of the Soria stuff. Alright, cool. It looks like there's there's quite a few people in the audience, so I'll get started. So, I'm going to just show some of the Star Fox stuff I've been working on really quickly, and then I'm just going to play several games probably for the next 5 or 6 hours until I pass out. But I'm going to try and keep the stream, as positive and happy as possible, but one of the things that kind of made me want to do this stream is, frankly, the last 6 months, I don't normally talk about my personal life at all online. If you follow me in Discord, and so you'll notice I never ever talk about my personal life. I very much keep the internet world and my personal world as separate as possible, and I think it's frankly because most people just don't care about people's personal lives unless they know them personally. So I never talk about my personal life, but I'm just going to keep it really short and not go into tons of detail. But the last 6 months have been pretty crappy, especially the last 2 weeks. Without going into too much detail, there's been a death that has really upset me and specifically my wife, and I won't go into more detail about that. So it's just, especially the last week to 2 weeks has just been really terrible. We're okay as far as like, I don't know, existing, but emotionally it just has not been great. And of course it had to be right before Christmas. But that's we've been dealing with that for basically the last 6 months, and what's one of the reasons the Soria stuff came out so late. It was supposed to be out at the end of July, but we've been dealing with this like nonstop since basically the last week of May. We've been dealing with stuff related to this just nonstop until about, I think, 5 days ago. So not been a great, especially the second half of this year. It's not been good. I'm really hoping 2026 is better. Yeah, sorry, I don't normally talk about this kind of stuff, so I feel a little bit awkward even mentioning it, and I don't want to go into any details, but that's what's been going on. I don't like to give excuses too. It almost feels like I'm giving an excuse why it took so long to get the Soria stuff out, but that's life. But anyway, I'm okay. My wife's okay. In air quotes. We're, still dealing with the loss. But yeah. So other than that, I'm gonna try and keep the stream as as positive as possible, because while it has been a pretty crappy last 6 months, despite that, I have managed to play 2 of the best games I've ever played in my life in the last 6 months. And I'm gonna play those after I show some of my Star Fox stuff. So let me show you guys what I've been working on. Let me get Fred 2 fired up, and I'll actually, let me look at the chat. I wasn't even looking at the chat. Let me see what's going on. Real life comes first. Yeah, I see a few condolences. Thank you guys. I didn't want to, I didn't want to get anyone down, or, because it's almost Christmas. It's supposed to be a happy time of the year, and the stream is supposed to be happy too. But I had to get that out there. Just things have not been going well here, so let's see what some of you guys are saying. The only thing I could regret with this series is Estelle being involved. Oh yeah, Fantasy Output Zenith. Hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, I've discussed that. I've discussed that with Estelle. If she does return to some kind of official project, whether it's specifically with Star Fox, like if it's she voices Crystal in a game or a movie or whatever. I've told her this. I'm like, they'll put you under contract, and you won't be able to do any of this fan stuff at all anymore. So she is aware of that. I've discussed that with her over the last, on and off over the last few years. So yeah, that would be really unfortunate if she did do that. She'd have to not do any of these fan projects anymore. I'll Although she's told me she'd still, she'd still try and push that, she'd push that limitation as much as she could. I think that's partially why she wants to branch out from Crystal, and she's got her legally distinct Crystal avatar and stuff, and then we've got our character we've made that's kind of like Crystal for our own original game, and so I think that's why she kind of wants to branch out from Crystal, and she doesn't want to be completely stuck with her because of the whole legal. It's not that she doesn't like Crystal. Obviously, she loves Crystal and wants to keep voicing her the character, but there's obviously a giant legal landmine around the character because of how copyright and stuff works, though. But so yeah, hopefully that answers that. I don't guess that wasn't really a question. That was more of a statement. Here is a question, though, from Lone Elemental Cross. I must ask you, is the game going to extend to the Aperoid? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Not till after the next section, though. Which I'll show what I've started on soon. Okay, I think I've caught up with the chat. See. Thank you guys for the condolences. Thank you for listening to that. I tried to not go into too much detail. Just I hear cats fighting in here. Hang on, guys. Hang on a second. What's going on?
She wanted in here. She demanded to go in, and Maple was right at the door.
Oh, of course he was right at the door. But I'm live streaming. If they're gonna fight, then
I don't know what to do. She won't stay in there.
Sorry, everyone. We got two cats that hate each other right now. Hang on just a second. Anyway, just a second, guys. Okay. What the heck was I just talking about? Now I lost what I was talking about. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's see. Let me just look at the chat. Maybe that'll make me remember what I was talking about. A newcomer to this channel. I hope to get more out of you guys with Star Fox. Yeah, welcome to my crazy little YouTube channel. There's a new version of, for anyone in the audience who doesn't know, there's a new version of Star Fox Event Horizon that came out at the end of October. You can go download now. I should just put a link in the. Let me put a link in the chat. You can get it on Gnosis.net, which of course is not showing up when I type it in. So let me go get the link from the Discord. Which is my pinned messages. There we go. So I'll post the link in the chat. It's called GnosisLauncher.com, and it's basically like this little, if you're familiar with Steam, it's like Steam, but it's just full of games and mods that are made in the FreeSpace engine. And if you download Gnosis Launcher and you open it up and you go to the Explore tab, you can find Star Fox Event Horizon in there. It'll let you know when there's updates and stuff, and yeah, it's way easier to use than ModDB. I don't upload anything on ModDB anymore because it's just too complicated. So if you're new to the channel or you just don't know, there's a new version of Event Horizon that's been out for over a month now, month and a half now. Wow, it doesn't feel like it. Let's see, Ladies Man 7275. We want to meet up with Estelle in America. Yes. We've been trying to do that for several years now, but it just, again, I don't want to talk about like depressing things in this chat. It's supposed to be a happy stream, but the cost of everything and the political situation of the world right now is a complete and utter disaster, and it's just Estelle really wants to do a convention in the United States. She's specifically has her mind set on Texas of all places, which is fine. It's a nice, kind of central location in the United States that, it's kind of equidistant from most of the United States. But just there's so many parts moving and stuff right now, and just unless the convention's willing to help her out financially, she just hasn't been able to do it. As soon as she's able to, she will, though. So Gnosis Nosferatus. Oh, someone's got a question. See, Fantasy Output has another question. What is your favorite voice line from the original 64 game? What is my favorite? There's so many to pick from 64. Which one's my favorite, though? I'd probably have to think about that for a bit, but it's probably something that it's probably one of the lines that the train driver says on Macbeth before he crashes. That's more like a moment than an actual line, though. Honestly, it might be Cocky Little Freaks. That line's really funny. And especially if you've never heard it before, and then all of a sudden he just blurts out, "Cocky Little Freaks!" It's really funny. So that might be my favorite from 64. But I'd have to think about it. I've never really thought about which one's my favorite. Can I say all of them? Like every line from 64? Let's see what else you guys are saying. See, updated. Yeah, you can. There's a bunch of different vehicles you can play as in Event Horizon, and you can swap out the weapons on them. I'll go ahead and show some of that in a few minutes. Anyway, yeah, I'll go ahead and fire up Fred. I don't think. Let me get. Why is it not detecting it? Let's see. Let's put my webcam on the top. Can you guys see the editor in the background? It looks like it's working on my end. I'll make my portrait a little smaller. It's still not showing up on YouTube, so there must be like a 30-second delay. But let me know when you guys see... Okay, it's showing up on my end now, so I think you guys can see it now. Let's see. So, alright, so I've got Fred 2 editor open. And I'll open up the level I've been working on before I went on break, in air quotes. Because I've not worked on anything in a little while, just because it's just been so crazy. But this is the last thing I was working on before I stopped. So it's still... Yeah, there's like an almost minute delay between my end and YouTube. It just... There's always been quite a bit of a delay on my live streams, so this might be one of the worst delays I've ever seen. Razorblade asks, do you have a Discord server? I technically do, but it's technically for patrons. However, if you want like a free Discord that's specifically for Star Fox Event Horizon, I have a section in the Hardlight Discord, which I'll go ahead and link to right now. Let me go get it. The Hardlight Discord it's where all the projects using the Free Space engine are. It's where they're all kind of... It's like their Discord, where all the projects for that kind of are all gathered together. So I'll go ahead and put that in the chat for you. There's the Hardlight Discord, and there's a Star Fox Event Horizon channel in there. So if for some reason you want to communicate to me for free and about Star Fox in particular, that's the place to do it. But my own personal Discord is technically private. See, someone's asking, Brian Barbara asked, did you ever play the game? Which game? Let me know which game. I don't know, I played a lot of games. Ladies Man's asking, what do you think of Metroid Prime 4? It finally came out. I haven't even seen the trailer for it yet. I have no idea. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it neither? Is it both? I don't know. I heard through osmosis there's apparently a completely horrific, stupid character in it, but I don't know anything about why, or I haven't really been keeping up with most new games except for a few. So that's my thoughts on Metroid Prime 4. I don't have any because I haven't even seen a trailer for it yet. I know it exists, but I don't know anything about it. Honestly, I haven't really been keeping up with almost anything Nintendo ever since they announced like the Switch 2 and everything was like $1 gajillion. I'm just like, I'm done with Nintendo in general. So I haven't really been keeping up with any Nintendo stuff at all. Just what I hear through osmosis. Oh, ladies, yeah, 2 amazing games. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play them after I show some of the Star Fox stuff. One of them is a new game that just came out literally the day I released the Saria stuff. And then another game is from 1994. It's a super old game, but it's better than almost every modern game I played. So I'll go ahead and I'll talk about those in a bit. Anyway. So I presume you guys can see all the stuff here. So I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil stuff. Also, just a heads up, this level I'm working on here is super duper incomplete. Like there's no real background. A bunch of stuff is missing. So it's very, very rough draft because I haven't worked on it a ton. But this takes place right after the little mall cinematic that I had playing in the background. Basically, let me see if I can give like a little synopsis without too many spoilers. Basically, Saria happened, they saved Saria, they got paid their money from Pepper, so the Star Fox team goes to Papatoon, and they basically go on a little hiatus because they got some money. Crystal learns to fly the R-Wing there, and then... So they've been on Papatoon for, I don't know, a few months. I haven't picked a specific time. And now that they've had their rest or whatever, they're going to the star base here to get new supplies and stuff and look for more contracts for their next mission. So they're going to the Talon Starport, which is in orbit of Falco's homeworld, which I have not put in the background yet. Although I actually think I have a graphic for it, so let me put it in the background. I need to update it, but... Where is it? Background. I don't know if this window is going to pop up on your guys' end, but it will show up after I find it. Let's see, where's the planet section? Aha! His homeworld is here. I mean, can't really tell much from it, but it just looks like a generic planet right now, but... Anyway, point is, this takes place in orbit of Falco's homeworld, and there it is in the background, but the rings are missing. His planet actually has rings around it, so, anyway, where was I? So yeah, they go here to find work and, you know, buy more supplies and stuff for their R-Wings and the Great Fox, because everything's running down. And then while they're at this mall... this starport with the mall and refueling and everything. While they're here, you know, having fun, a bunch of these Cornerian ships kind of just show up and start shooting at everyone here. So Star Fox kind of scrambles to the R-Wings, and you know, Fox is obviously like, hey, why are you guys attacking? Like, you guys, Corneria and the Thosons have never fought each other. Why are you shooting at them all of a sudden? And the Cornerians is like cut off all their communication. So they've cut off all communication. No one knows what's going on, and they start shooting at the Star Fox team. So you actually have to fight the Cornerians in this level. And the last things I finished were actually these models for the Mark II Cornerian fleet, which are all based on the designs from Brawl, which I actually thought, I really like the frigates especially, these ones right here. The ships from Brawl. The Cornerian ships from I think it's the Lilac Cruise level, where you're on the Pleiades cruiser, and then there's one part of the level where you go through a fight between Corneria and Venom. And there's all these really cool Cornerian ships there that have never actually shown up in any of the games, but they're in the Super Smash Bros. Games. All of the Mark II Cornerian ships are based on those designs. And then, nice little, I don't know if Easter egg is the right word, but the boss for this level is, I don't know if you guys will recognize it, because it doesn't have the normal markings on it, and also has a bunch of these extra weapons that have come out. But the boss for this level is what was originally in Star Fox 2 was originally supposed to be the Great Fox, But since they already have a Great Fox, I decided to use the design as a Cornerian, like the Corneria's version of the Great Fox, like a giant battleship carrier. And when it starts out, all these weapons are inside of it, but these missile launchers come out the top as you destroy the hangar bays and stuff, and all these extra weapons start popping out. But so that is the boss for this level. I thought that was a really cool idea for the boss. And then this ship is not going to appear in the level, but there's this one will show up later, and then especially in the assault portion of the game, and you'll know why when you see it. So there is the Cornerian battleship, cruiser, whatever, from Star Fox Assault, but all done up to look like Star Fox 2. And then I haven't finished modeling it yet, but the actual Cornerian ship from Star Fox 2 is also going to show up, but I haven't finished modeling yet, because there actually was a Cornerian, it looked kind of like a frigate, it was pretty small, but there actually is a Cornerian military, like, cruiser kind of frigate ship from Star Fox 2 in the intro. I haven't modeled it yet, though, so that'll probably be the next thing I do when I get back to work, but yeah, this ship right here and the little frigate there, these two are from Brawl, and I like the frigate more than the cruiser, but yeah, I like how those turned out. And then there's a third Cornerian ship from Brawl that I haven't done yet, because that one's also going to be a boss. It's like it's the really long one that in the Smash Brothers level, when you're flying through that level, the cruiser like goes down like this what I think is supposed to feel like the Death Star trench, but like this basically this artificial trench, and it's like on this giant Cornerian like battleship thing. That's gonna be a boss in a later level, so I haven't modeled that one yet. But anyway, let me delete this because that's not supposed to be in this level. And I guess I'll play through what's done of this level, but again, it's really rough. There's only a handful of voiceovers. All the dialogue is in the level, but there's only a handful of actual voices, because not all the voice actors have done their lines yet. But let me fire up FreeSpace 2 and get OBS to read it, because I think I forgot to set OBS to read FreeSpace when it fires up. So give me a second to do that. I'll look at the chat while it's loading. See, Fantasy Output Zenith mentions, to be fair, technically Star Fox is not affiliated with any one planet. Yes, that's actually, if I had one problem with the Star Fox series, it's that they're mercenaries. They're supposed to take jobs from whoever, and yet they always seem to be stuck in the Lylat system taking jobs from Corneria. And I just find that a little weird. Like, you guys are mercenaries. Like, there's a giant galaxy full of jobs. Why are you guys, like, just hanging out in Lylat? Like, oh, the volume's really loud. Hang on a second. Let me turn the volume down. Oh, wait, OBS isn't even picking it up yet, is it? Let me get OBS to pick up the, Event Horizon. So where's the window? No, not Fred. Oh, great. Oh, because it's tech boomer moment. Hang on a second, guys. Let's see, add source. I think it has to be game capture for it to pick it up. Capture specific window. And there we go. Yeah, I had to do game capture, not window capture. So let me know if it's if you guys can see the Star Fox Event Horizon main menu, because it looks like it's working on my end. Let me just put my webcam on top, because there's like almost a minute delay between me and YouTube, so I won't know if it's working until right about now. It looks like it's working. Wow, the menu's going really fast on YouTube though. That's weird. No, it looks fine. Anyway. And actually it looks like it froze. Like a minute ahead of you guys, and everything froze for a second there. And volume's still kind of loud. I can't really multitask with the volume that loud. So Oh, no, I want the music on, actually. Drat. Oh, well, I'll just deal with it. Anyway, so I'll show you what I've got done of this level, which isn't much. Just keep in mind, everything I'm about to show you is super duper rough draft. The lighting is completely incomplete. There's stuff missing everywhere, and it's just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I've been doing. So I'll let that load. It's probably going to take a while to load, but because for some reason every time I restart the computer and then I fire up Event Horizon, the very first time I try to load a level in it, it takes a long time, and then after that it's fine, it loads really fast. But something about restarting the computer, it's like I have a feeling there's some kind of cache that it loads things into, so that every time you load a level after that, it doesn't have to reload everything over and over again. And then I think restarting the computer, it like deletes everything in that cache or something. That's my theory anyway. Oh, I just noticed Brian Barbera is asking about Farrah Phoenix. She's in the Lylat Wars level, but if you haven't played it, I don't want to spoil what happens to her. Especially not this time of year. Let's see, I really need to pay attention to these chats some more. I see you guys talking a lot. Oh, it looks like you guys are all talking to each other, though. This reeks of Shears meddling as well. I'm hoping it becomes a meme that Fox just eventually assumes everything is Shears. Everything that goes wrong is somehow Shears is involved. I know it. Shears is involved with all the wacky stuff going on, but probably not in the way people think. I like that idea that Fox just assumes, like, Shears is up to something, even though he's in prison right now. Oh, this is taking a while to load. There we go. Alright, so I'll show you guys what I finished in this level really quickly. Also, another note, the little dialogue boxes, they haven't been timed yet, so some of them are going to go by in like a fraction of a second, and you probably won't be able to read them. So just, like I said, everything I'm about to show you is super duper, not even beta, like alpha rough draft, just barely functional, so just a little warning. And it froze. Is it going to crash? Okay, there we go.
You ready for launch, Crystal?
This is so cool.
Let's punch it!
So yeah, it opens up with you launching out of the star base as it's getting destroyed. There's going to be other ships launching out too, and the hangar bay is going to open, but I haven't done that yet.
Something's really wrong here.
So yeah, the Cornerians are attacking. There's the star base. And then immediately Crystal has a slippy moment.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, Kyle finished all of his voices for this level, so Fox has his voiceovers,
everyone who shoots at you.
None of the other characters do yet. And I do have to say, the first time I play tested this, it was really awkward shooting down Cornerian fighters. It did just feel kind of wrong. Because I'm so used to fighting with Cornerians. Oh, look at that one spinning out of control. Oh no. Don't worry, Crystal. Oh, she actually shot one down. Awesome. Nice job, Crystal. I just saw Crystal shoot one down. She's actually not supposed to do that, but that was cool. Oh, she's going after that ship now. I'll go ahead and destroy that ship. And I can already tell the next part of the level isn't triggering, so it might already be broken. Oh, she just shot it. Oh, nice! Crystal got 2 kills already. Let's see, there's Falco and Slippy's over there. Yeah, oh, there we go, now it triggered. Get the missiles out. Oh yeah, the portraits, the talking portraits that are used are also placeholders. Like that's Miu's really old model. Although her Arwing there is not. That's the new one. The light Arwing. Anyway, there's also supposed to be a bunch of non-Cornerian ships here, like a bunch of Thosan ships and civilian ships, but I haven't finished modeling them yet, so they're not here yet. Oh, I think Crystal just crashed into that into that Cornerian ship. She's still learning to fly. Actually, I think I gave the ship too much health. It should be... Oh, it's almost dead. I feel like the missile should be doing more damage to it, though. There we go. Oh, there's this. I was gonna say I didn't see any of the like the fiery scorch marks on it, but they showed up at the last second before it blew up. Apologize if I'm not responding to the chat. It's really hard to multitask playing this, looking at the chat at the same time. Oh, Miu, what are you doing over there? You're supposed to be over here. Maybe the AI is a little... I actually forgot to check. Can you guys even hear any of the stuff going on? I don't know if it's picking up the sound or not. I mean, there's not really any voiceovers other than Fox's voice, so it's not like there's much to hear, but... So yeah, this ship right here, it's using a Cornerian freighter, but this is going to be like a Thosan civilian ship when I get around to modeling them. Some fighters are shooting at me. Okay, here comes all the troop ships. Which are also using the old Mark I Cornerian troop ships. And here comes Faye. There's Faye. Faye's got the armored Arwing. Let's destroy those troop ships before they dock at the starbase. So it's kind of like the Aquas level. And Faye is not shooting. Faye, why are you not shooting? She even has like a little automatic turret on the top that's supposed to shoot at stuff automatically, and she's not shooting. Like I said, very rough draft level. There's some kinks in the AI. By AI, I mean like old school artificial intelligence in video games, not the generative AI stuff. There's a few more. Yeah, I really need to work on the lighting in this level. I'm really disappointed that Faye's not firing any weapons. She has a bunch of really cool weapons on her Arwing, and she's not using any of them. But I'll go ahead and I'll show you after I show this level. I'll play through. I'll demonstrate Faye and Miu's Arwings just to show you guys what they're like. I actually think Faye is copying Crystal's AI right now, because Crystal in this level is supposed to be kind of you know, she's still not really good at flying the Arwing, and her fire rate's supposed to be like really slow. Although Crystal's AI destroyed 2 ships at the start of the level, so I don't know what's going on. Hey, Falco. Is he just sitting there? Let me go check on Falco. Come on, Falco. He's just sitting there. I think, yeah, Falco's AI just flat out broke, and now he's just sitting there with Cornerian ships shooting at him. Looks like Slippy's AI is working. I see him shooting at stuff in the distance, but I don't know what's going on with Falco's ship. I think there's one more transport left. And I just noticed dialogue isn't going, so I need to fix that later too. Like I said, this is really early rough draft, so nothing's polished at all. I don't even know if that's the gray color of the starbase. I don't even know if that's going to be the final color. I think the whole thing's going to have like a yellow plating, but I haven't decided yet. Anyway, there to stop the transports. Looks like Miu's AI is kind of working. I don't know what she's doing it way over there, though. Slippy. Okay, here comes all the Cornerian fleet. Awesome. And then the Great Fox should be showing up any moment. Oh, there's the Great Fox right there. And I need to fix that. Should be moving way faster than that. It's going too slow. There, Peppy and Rob showed up. Also, another little detail I don't know if people will pick up on, but you'll notice Peppy is in the Great Fox and on an R-Wing, and that's because Crystal's actually using his R-Wing, because she wrecked her R-Wing. There's going to be a line in the cinematic about how she wrecked an R-Wing when she was learning to fly it. She completely wrecked her R-Wing, so and they don't quite have enough money to get a new one yet, so she's using Peppy's R-Wing. Yeah, the Great Fox should be moving way faster than that, but that's still cool. Oh, I think the Great Fox destroyed one of its nacelles. That's cool. Yeah, one of its nacelles got destroyed. That's awesome. Oh, there's the boss. Let me get the homing charge lasers on. The boss is also not final too. Like its attack patterns and behavior don't completely work yet, so it's really rough. It has very basic movement, but it's probably it's gonna crash into these ships. It's gonna open its hangars right in front of the ship, and all the fighters are gonna fly into it probably. And the music just broke, actually. There we go. The music keeps breaking. What the hell? That's weird. Yeah, it's just crashing into other Cornerian ships. It's a rough draft, everyone. I got one in the hangar bays. Crystal, get out of the way. Crystal keeps getting in the way. There we go. Oof. Someone just hit me with the plasma cannon. And Falco is still just sitting there doing nothing. There we go. Now I'm getting punched. There, now Faye is attacking it. Though she's using the wrong weapons, but whatever. I got the other hangar bay. Now the little guns come out the side. Yeah, they're firing. They don't have the proper sound effects yet, though. Oh. Lock on. So you gotta fire at the turrets when they overheat and they glow blue. And then when they're not glowing, they're immune to damage. But I haven't worked out the fire rate yet, so they're almost always just constantly glowing at the moment. Yeah, it orbits around the starbase and shoots at it. There, now Faye is shooting at stuff. I don't know why she wasn't shooting. Oh, crap. It just turned to face me and almost crashed into me. Yeah, its AI needs some work. It's actually, other than it crashing into that one Cornerian ship at the start, it's working better than I was expecting. And actually it looks like its AI just died, so maybe not. Oh. Yeah, its AI broke, but whatever. It's just a demonstration. Oh, now he's moving. God, I didn't even see those things fire to dodging them. Oh, there's all the missiles. Yeah, he's not moving properly, but whatever. For early alpha demonstration purposes, he's fine. Actually, did the Great Fox destroy the rest of the Cornerian fleet? I don't see it anymore. I only see like one ship left. I think the Great Fox destroyed the... Look at all the debris from the fleet. Holy crap, the Great Fox like wiped out so much of the Cornerian fleet. Look at all this. Look at all the debris. Wow. Great job, Rob. Yeah, there's like only 2 Cornerian ships left. The Great Fox like wiped out the rest of the fleet. That's crazy. I wasn't even looking. Oh, never mind. There it is. It was just on the other side of the starbase. Well, he took out some of their fleet. Never mind. For a second there, I'm like, holy crap, how did the Great Fox destroy like 40 ships in like just a few minutes? It's crazy. There, I got it. Oh, those darn missiles. Now they should retreat. And they're not retreating. Oh well, I'll just keep shooting at them. Yeah, for a second there, I seriously thought the Great Fox like destroyed the entire Cornerian fleet, and I'm like, oh my god, wow, that ship is amazing. It looks like, I mean, it still looks like he took out about maybe 10 ships here though, because I see all their debris everywhere, and it just destroyed that one over there. Anyway, that was the last thing I worked on. Sometime after Christmas, I'll get back to working on it. Anyway, let's see what you guys have said before I show you some more stuff. I see Razorblade asking about multiplayer. I am... let me go see if I can get to the menu. In the pilot settings, if you'll notice here, there's a little multi icon for multiplayer, but multiplayer is kind of like very, very, very low priority right now. But it's something I would like to have in the game once I'm kind of done with the main game. So something for the future. But anyway, let's see what else you guys been saying. What, Pepper? I don't know, Pepper should know better. He should know that there's a chance that Star Fox might be hired against him. Especially if you... I mean, Pepper couldn't have known this, that, you know, they happened to be on the star base that he decided the Cornerian fleet was going to attack. You know, that was just bad luck for Pepper. He didn't do that, and he didn't intentionally shoot at it because Star Fox was on it. Just they happened to be there, and then the Thosan government hired them because, you know, they knew Star Fox was there because they registered at the starbase, but, you know, when they docked. But Pepper couldn't have really known that. That's just really bad luck for him and the Cornerian army. Although that begs the question, what would have happened if this whole thing happened and then Fox wasn't on the starbase and then Pepper sent out contracts to mercenaries and Star Fox was hired on the Cornerian side of the conflict? That'd be interesting. Yeah, someone... is it Straswa or Strassa? I'm probably butchering her name, I apologize. But yeah, you love the idea of enemy Cornerian ships. I think it's a really interesting idea, because you've never really... That's why, the thing that put this in my mind is in the level where Shears turns traitor, and you like the Cornerian battleship is like suddenly turning on you and firing at you, and it's just like these large, safe, like, friendly fortresses that you've always been on your side is suddenly turned against you. It's this really, like, menacing feeling that I just, like, I want to replicate that, but on the scale of a whole fleet, when just all of a sudden, because of the mercenary nature of Star Fox, they end up on a side against Corneria in this one war. I thought that would be a really interesting really interesting kind of dynamic that's never really been done before in the Star Fox games. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. And I just didn't want Venom to be the... I mean, you do end up fighting Venom anyway, but just wanted a little break from Venom. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Are you planning to make any Horizon incarnations of the Sargasso space station from Assault? Yes, I plan on making all the stuff from Assault eventually, but right now the next segment of the game is based on Star Fox 2, not Assault. Damn it, Crystal, you're not supposed to catch energy blasts with your teeth. I mean, her AI took out 2 ships right at the start of the level, which is more than... It's actually... Her AI is actually supposed to be kind of... Not brain dead, but she's supposed to, like, struggle to fly around and barely shoot in the first few levels. Because it's the first time she's ever been in a combat situation. But I noticed her AI almost right away destroyed a fighter craft, and then she landed the killing blow on one of the frigates, which I wasn't expecting. And then Faye's AI just flew around and wasn't shooting at anything until the boss showed up. And then Falco's AI just stopped, and he was just sitting there in space doing nothing. So I don't know what's going on with Falco's AI, but someone said Falco's AI blue screened. Oh man. Oh no. Crimsong is saying Falco not showing off. No, he was showing off. He was so cool that he thought he could just sit there and just not do anything and still survive, and he did. Anyway, I think I'm caught up now. Yeah, so Strauss is also mentioning the possible fight against Bill. That would be a really interesting to see how that would go, because they're such best friends. I almost feel like they would both try to, like, both lose on purpose. Or they might just, like, actually call a truce. Like, I mean, Fox could just be like, no, you know, because he's the leader of the team. He can call the shots. Literally, in this case, he'd be like, no, we're not going to fight Bill. And then Bill, in the Lilat Wars, he was already shown to kind of find ways to spin orders. I can imagine him just spinning some kind of excuse to not engage Star Fox to people higher up in command. So, I would have to imagine if Bill and Fox ever got into a versus situation, they would probably find ways to actually not shoot at each other. I have a hard time imagining they would just be like, all right, I'm just going to shoot you. I don't think they would. I think they really would, or they would do the Battlestar Galactica thing where they're like, they're trying to, like, I can't remember what episode it is. There's an episode in Battlestar Galactica when the Pegasus and the Galactica are about to fight each other and all the Vipers are about to engage, and they're all kind of jousting with each other, and then they get to the point where they're about to fire and they just go past each other and they, like, start orbiting each other. They don't actually fight. Something like that, maybe. Or they're like, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm like, no, I'm gonna shoot you. You better call off the fight. And then as soon as they get into range, like, they just zoom past each other and they don't shoot at each other. Anyway, see, if it's based in Star Fox 2, then where's that certain special character that's meant to return? Has he really been reduced to a floating cube now? Oh, I don't want to spoil everything. Let's see. Anyway, I guess I'll show you guys Miu and Faye's R-Wing. So let me go to my little empty test level. Also, the music was kind of distracting me. Ugh. Anyway, this should load much faster because yeah, this is already loading way faster. I should probably ask the FreeSpace people why it does that. Every time I restart my computer, the very first time I load a level in FreeSpace, it takes forever to load. And then after that, it only takes like 30 seconds. Well, it looks like it froze for a second there. Anyway, okay, it looks like I'll start with the Armored R-Wing because it's already set to the Armored R-Wing. And So yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate the armored Arwing first, and its unique weapon is the Pulsar Chain Disruptor, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game. And basically, it's like the normal blasters, except when it hits a target, it'll explode and it'll deal its damage, but then it'll bounce off and it'll aim towards the next nearest target, and it can hit several times in a row if there's enough targets around it. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like these blasters that ricochet and hit other targets that you're not aiming at after you hit your initial target. You have to hit the initial target though, or it won't do it. And it's a really cool weapon, but it overheats pretty rapidly, so you can't just constantly do it. Oh, I see a question. If I could recommend a feature, UI scaling. I play the game on my Steam Deck, and although it plays like an absolute dream, the UI is extremely cluttered on such a small screen. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to go about it right now, but I've actually noticed, it seems it's more common with people who have really widescreen monitors or very high resolution monitors where the UI will not be aligned properly. The UI, and I don't know if it's an engine problem or if it's a problem on my end, but the UI does not it'll scale bigger and smaller, like 1 or 2 resolutions, but if the resolution is too big or too small, it just stops trying to align everything properly, and it's just like, nah, I'm just going to clutter it wherever. The engine doesn't seem to like changing resolutions, and I think that's because when the engine was made, there was basically only 2 resolutions it could even run on, which I think was it was 600 by 400 and then 1024 by 768. And as they've updated the engine over the years, it's able to support larger resolutions, but it does not seem to like it when the resolution is too different from the standard one. Merry Christmas, little dancing dog. When is the game released? I just released a version of it about a month and a half ago that has all of the Lylat Wars and the Saurius stuff. I posted a link to it in the chat, but I'll post it again because it's probably been buried. So let me just post that there. It's on a program called Gnosis Launcher. You just run this, and then you go to the Explore tab and you look for Star Fox Event Horizon, and that's how you can download it. Anyway, let me just show the Armored Arwing really quickly, and then I'll show the Light Arwing. So yeah, it's a little bit bigger than the normal Arwing, and it turns a bit more slowly, but it has like double the hull strength. Its acceleration is slower, but it does have the same top speed as the normal Arwing, so it can eventually it can eventually become as fast as the normal Arwing. It just takes longer to accelerate to that point. So let me go shoot at something. Oh, let me get the pulse. I'll just let that explode. I can see the little shots like ricocheting off of it. I saw some of them hit that ship. I love that weapon. And of course, none of the shots ricocheted off onto that ship. Come on. Come on, guy. How'd you miss that? Is it too far? It might be too far away. It doesn't look too far away. Oh well. Let me see if they ricochet off of that one onto the big one. Actually, it looks like something's drawing them over to there. That's weird. Is there? Oh, I know why. I actually set gravity on, so their fault. I was testing something in here, and the gravity is set on the x-axis, so the gravity is pulling all of the gravity's pulling all the bullets this way. That's why they're all going in that direction after they bounce off. Yeah, they're all going that way because I have gravity set on. Oh well. Maybe if I aim right, they'll bounce off onto that little ship there. Or not. Nope. Maybe because this is a pretty big target, maybe they'll bounce onto that one if I shoot him. Oh, yep, some of them hit that. Not because they intentionally bounced back to it, though, because it's just so big, the gravity pulled the shots back to it. Oh, I think it's gonna get destroyed. Yep. That's awesome. Actually, when I was testing this level a few weeks ago, the little wing here, it blew off of the Sharpclaw ship, and the wing crashed into the giant carrier there, and then the carrier exploded, and that was just a really... Oh, I think that just happened over there, actually. Oh, yeah, the debris hit the Great Fox, and now it's gonna explode. Oh, there goes the Great Fox. No! Yeah, when I was... Because I added all of the debris into the engine like 2 or 3 months ago, and then the wing of that Sharpclaw ship, it drifted off, and then it hit the carrier next to it, and the carrier exploded, and its debris flew off and hit some other ships behind it, and there was like this chain reaction of debris destroying other ships. Well, it looks like it's not going to hit the Zerum, but I guess I'll destroy the Zerum. Sorry, I get caught up in playing this sometimes. I'm not sure. Alright, I'll show you guys the light R-Wing. That's kind of a first look at the armored R-Wing, which you can unlock in the next campaign. Anyway, so... Let me restart that. Oh, I think it just crashed when I exit. Yep, it just crashed. Whatever. That was weird. Something weird happened there. It didn't like me exiting. So let me fire it back up again. Who's Fox's gunner? Crystal. The little turret on Phase R-Wing, it's actually automated. I mean, someone can man it, but it has like a little automated thing in it. So it's able to fire without a gunner. But the little turret that's on the armored R-Wing it's not gonna have normal weapons on it. It's gonna have like it's basically a point defense turret, so it'll shoot down missiles that are coming at you. So it won't be able to shoot out and damage enemy ships. It'll shoot down missiles and other homing projectiles that are coming at the player. Just because the armored R-Wing's a little slow, so it's a bit harder to dodge missiles. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one I want. So it's more like a point defense turret than an actual turret that's supposed to damage ships. I feel like it'd probably be too powerful if it was just a normal blaster cannon that can automatically shoot at other things. Little Dancing Dog says, what do you think Star Wars flagship is? You'll find out sometime in the next few months. I don't want to spoil it. They do have a flagship now, though. I haven't modeled it yet, but they're going to have a flagship that is going to show up in the next campaign. But anyway, let me go pick the light R-Wing, which I am not seeing in the list here. Oh, crap. Let me go to the editor and open that level and re-enable it so I can pick the light R-Wing. Sorry guys, hang on just a minute. So editors, oh please don't crash on me. There we go. So let me just change this to the light R-Wing. Yeah, there we go. File, save, and then let me hit Control-Shift-R to reload the level. And I'm going to need to go to the menu and then do this. Control-Shift-R should reload. I don't think it's reloading, actually. Maybe it'll work when I reload the whole level. If not, I'll just restart the whole game and then I'll show it to you guys. Yeah. I know this stream is like really last minute and kind of at a late hour, but I think I needed to do this. I'm having a little bit of fun. There we go, yeah, now it's the light Arwing. Okay. But now the armored Arwing isn't showing up there. Whatever. As long as the light Arwing works. So yeah, while the armored Arwing's special weapon is a weapon that ricochets off of whatever it hits, Mew's special weapon is a blaster cannon that slowly homes in on a target. It's not quite as good as missiles, but from a distance, you know, it can hit targets at a distance. So I locked onto the Harlock over there, and if I kind of aim over here, kind of homes in on it. Oops! I didn't notice the beam. It was like instant revenge on me from the Harlock. Just screw you! And then fired a beam right at me. I didn't even notice the tracer, the beam tracer. But yeah, it's a blaster that kind of homes in, but it's not really good homing in. So like I can't just like if I'm really close to it. Like, if I'm really close to it and I, like, just shoot over here, it shouldn't be able to home in on it. It'll just kind of veer off into... Yeah, it'll just go off. And because the arc for the homing is really long, so it really only works from a distance. Because Mew's ship is supposed to be really fast and kind of... it's not really meant to engage in really heavy combat, because, you know, it's called the light Arwing. But from a distance, you can kind of... sort of home in on targets with the blasters, which is pretty cool. I don't think that's going to make it all the way. Yeah. So yeah, that's the light Arwing, which is... It has about 2/3 of the health of the normal Arwing, but it's way faster, and it turns much faster too. So you can, like, pull a 180 without doing the U-turn almost at the same speed as a U-turn. And then it accelerates really, really fast too. I don't know if you guys can see on the bottom left of the screen. Actually, I'm not seeing it either. I'm not seeing the little speed indicator. That might actually be a bug. The speed indicator isn't showing up. But anyway, yeah. So I guess another place that the little homing blasters would be useful for is actually if you're really, really close to a target. And you're both at like high speed, and it's like, and you're pursuing a target. It would probably, yeah, probably like kind of home in like that. Oh, maybe not. I guess it depends on how big the target is. So if you're too close and your aim is off, it'll just go past it and then kind of arc. But yeah, that blaster, the homing blaster thing that Mew has also overheats pretty quickly. So it's meant to be used more in short bursts. Like, it's not meant to be a continual fire weapon where you just hold down the button, and that honestly probably be a little overpowered. It overheats after a while. And if I'm right, these are Bulls fighters, so it shouldn't even damage these guys because they have their shields. Yeah, it's not even damaging them because they got the shields. You can even see the little blue shield effect on them. Oh, that damaged that one, though. Whoa. Managed to get through the shields on that one. And that one, too. Did their shields go off? Or is it just a bug? I don't know. Alright, well. So that's a look at the stuff Let's look at the stuff that I last worked on. I started working on the next campaign of the game, which is roughly based on Star Fox 2. Trying to animate the intro cinematic with that, but I'm still waiting for voiceovers to come in so I can do all the lip syncing. And then while I've been waiting for the voiceovers to come in, I've just been modeling the new Cornerian ships. I need to model all of the Thosan ships. There's a bunch of new Venom ships I need to model. There's quite a few pirate ships I need to model, all the bosses. There's a lot of new models I need to make, so I'll be doing that over the next year. I'm hoping I have the first level all completely done by April for the Star Fox anniversary. That'd be really cool. But that really depends on when I get the voiceovers in, because, you know, I need a certain amount of time to do the animation. And if they don't send the voices in until, like, March. I probably won't get it done in time, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll get it done in time, and they'll get all the voices in soon. But don't think there's anything else new to show that I haven't shown already or isn't in the version I've released. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. But so yeah, I guess I'll see what you guys have been saying to that, and then I'm gonna move on to one of the 2 funnest games I've ever played. Well, let's see what you guys are saying in the audience. Check the chat. Okay, yes, Reluctant Warrior. I'm checking the chat. Sorry, what'd I miss? Oh no, you guys, no! I did a jetter. All right, sorry. Let me show you guys that again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys, at least you guys heard the ship firing and everything, right? I'm so sorry. I couldn't see the chat when the game was up. I'm really sorry. Oh my god. It's funny because a few weeks ago there's a streamer I really like called Jetter06, and he was playing Star Fox Event Horizon. He was doing a live stream of it, and he was fighting Dracor at I don't know if you guys haven't played it. There's a part where you fight Dracor where he's actually invincible and you're supposed to go save Crystal. And he was just sitting there for like 10 minutes trying to shoot down Dracor, not doing any damage to him. And everyone in the chat and me was like, look at the chat, Jetter. He's invincible. You need to go save Crystal and destroy the Spellstone for like 10 minutes. Because he couldn't see the chat because he's playing the game or whatever. He did have it up, but he wasn't looking at it so seriously. We're just like, no, look at the chat. So I just had a Jetter moment where I needed to look at the chat. None of you guys. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm out of it. Let me. I'll show you guys the light Arwing again. I'll make sure it's working. And you guys can see it. I'm so sorry. Strassa, yeah, it's the part when you're going to rescue Crystal from the volcano and Dracor first shows up. The thing is, if you're listening to the dialogue, it's obvious you need to destroy the Spellstone and not go after Dracor, but the voiceovers aren't in yet. And he was like so caught up in the moment, he didn't notice that everyone was just like, oh, you need to destroy the Spellstone. So he just was shooting at Dracor for like 10 minutes, like in this endless dogfight with him over the volcano. And me and everyone in the audience were just like, dude, look at your chat. Dracor's invincible. You need to go after the Spellstone. And he was so into it. I don't think he even noticed, he didn't notice that he wasn't damaging Dracor because he's so into trying to kill Dracor. But I had one of those moments where I needed to look at the chat. And I didn't, because I was so caught up with what I was doing. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I'll show you the light Arwing again. Could you guys at least hear all the stuff that was going on? I'm so sorry. Okay, you guys at least heard all the pew-pews, but you didn't see the light Arwing. Can you guys see the game loading now? Is the loading screen showing up? Is that at least showing up? I'll wait until I get to the menu where it lets me select the Arwing. Can you guys see the menu where I'm picking the light Arwing? Yeah, you guys heard all the laser sounds, but I know some of you might not have been here at the beginning of the stream, and I don't want to dwell on it, but the last 6 months, and especially the last, 5 days to 2 weeks, have been really bad. I'm very tired. I'm very out of it. I'm very delirious. I'm not surprised that happened. I'm okay now, but my brain is gone. In fact, today I went to get gas. I went to get gas because I was almost out of gas, and I'm at the gas station. And I give the lady the money for the gas, and then as she's putting the money in the cash register, I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh, I need to pay for my gas. So I go into my wallet. I'm trying to find the money to pay for the gas, and For like 10 seconds, I'm looking for my wallet, and I'm like, I already gave her the money for the gas. I'm so out of it right now. Anyway, can you guys see this? Okay, yeah, I see someone saying they see a spinning R-wing. All right, so it's picking it up. Fred isn't in the way. Fred 2. Basically the problem is in OBS. I had the Fred 2 editor on the top layer, so it was over free space. But anyway, sorry about that, everyone. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. So can you actually see me flying around the game with the light R-wing? Because I'm still like a minute ahead on the stream, so I still see the spinning R-wing, but I don't see the gameplay yet. Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay, so yeah, you guys missed the instant revenge from the Harlock, although maybe it'll do it again. Basically, I shot the Harlock down, and then when it blew up, it shot a laser beam right at the R-wing, and I just went right into it. But anyway, so Miu's special weapon is basically, it's like the normal blaster, but it slightly arcs and it homes in on a target. It's not like a homing missile though. Like, it's not guaranteed to hit from any distance. So you still have to kind of aim at a target, but it's very good at hitting things from a distance or whatever. But anyway, I'll go ahead and show it. It's just a blaster that it arcs in on its target. Let's see if the Harlock shoots a beam at me again. Oh, no. It shot its beams at that ship down there. It's not working, is it? Oh, no, it's working. Sorry, I looked over at the YouTube footage, and it looked like it was not doing anything for a second there, but it just froze for a second. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and show that when you fire the weapon kind of too close to a target, it'll kind of arc around the target. It won't actually completely home in on it. Oh, it did kind of home in a little bit, but you can see a bunch of the shots just kind of shot off that way because it's too close to the target. Did you guys see the armored R-wing too? Sorry, I need to double check. When I showed the armored R-wing, was it not working too, or was it just when I was showing this one? Because I'll show you guys the armored R-wing again if it wasn't working then. I'm so sorry, everyone. Probably far enough from that target for them to home in. So yeah, if you're too close to a target, you can't just like aim this way and have them home in on it. You still have to be kind of in the ballpark of your target for them to home in properly. Okay, you guys saw the armored one fine. So yeah, also if you notice when the light R-wing, it turns much faster than the other R-wings. Like, the turning is so fast, it's like the camera's trying to catch up with it a little bit when it spins. And then also the light R-wing accelerates much faster than the normal R-wing, so it's really fast. But its hull and shields are nowhere near strong, so hope you're good at dodging stuff. Anyway. That is Miu's light R-wing, which, like the armored R-wing, you'll be able to unlock in the Star Fox 2 campaign. So, alright. I think that's it. Alright, do you guys see that now? I'm so sorry that I showed all of that and freaking OBS was just showing the Fred 2 editor on the top. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm out of it. Anyway, let's see look at the chat this time. What'd I miss? So someone Mr. Rasa 183. Goofy question, how would the major antagonists who have appeared in Event Horizon so far fare as Mall Santas? I think Andross would actually make a decent Mall Santa because he's already got the gray hair and beard and he's always decked out in red and green. none of the other villains have the gray facial hair that I can, So all the other villains probably wouldn't be good Mall Santas. Andross could probably pull it off though. What else? What other villains are there? The Operaid Queen. It doesn't even look humanoid. Let's put a little Santa hat on her. General Scales, put a little Santa hat on him. Guess he could wear a fake beard. Shears probably would be an okay Mall Santa. Just put a little fake beard on him. But yeah, Andross is probably the only villain that could kind of pull off looking a bit like Santa. Gustav. Could you show the which Arwing? The light Arwing? The one I just showed? Or did he mean the armored one? I might ask you to just rewind like 15 minutes. I don't know if I want to show it again, but if the audience is fine with it, I'll show the armored Arwing or the light Arwing again if you missed it. If you just want to look at it really quick, I'll show it. Yeah, even Peppy doesn't have the crazy Santa Claus beard, but Andross has a crazy Santa Claus beard, so yeah, Peppy definitely has the right demeanor to do a Mall Santa. Andross would be like the Mall Santa that hates his job, and he's like, I hate this job. Why did I agree to this? St. Nicholas probably wouldn't like Andross, too. He probably would punch him in the face. Oh, man. Let's see. That person who wanted to see more of the Arwing, did they answer me? Who was that? That was Gustavo Calderon. Let me know which one you wanted to see. If it was the armored Arwing or the light Arwing. They haven't answered me yet, so I don't know which one they wanted to show. I'll show it before I move on to some really, really awesome games that I'd like to show you guys. Some really cool games. Oh wait, what if there was a cutscene where Crystal meets a Mall Santa? I was considering it. I was considering actually having the mall done up with like Christmas decorations and stuff, but I feel like maybe that'll be like in a later point of the game, instead of like her first trip to the mall being all decked up with Christmas stuff. But I do think at some point when they go back to that mall, there'll be a point when it's decorated for Christmas. Oh, okay. Gustavo Calderon was apparently joking about not saying that. I get it. It went over my head. No, you don't need to apologize. It's kind of funny. All right, so all right, I'm going to have some fun, and for the next few hours, I'm going to play one of two games, possibly both. There's two games I played recently. I guess I'll let you guys pick the first one. The first one that, sorry, I'm getting distracted by stuff on my computer screen. I'll guys let you pick out the first one I play, but let me see if I can find a way to get, just images of them on screen. Let's see, add image, browse, where's my picture folder? Live streams. Where's the pictures of those games? Did I not save them in here? Oh, I'll probably put it in this folder. Okay, is my webcam not showing up? That's weird. My webcam is... Okay. There's my webcam. Whoa, OBS is being weird. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, there's two games I've been playing recently. One of them is very old, and one of them just came out a month ago. And they're probably, like, two of the best games I've ever played of all time, which for one of my favorite games ever to come out recently is probably a good sign. There's still good games coming out. They're just very few and far in between compared to like the 90s when they came out like every week. Although one of these two games did come out in the 90s, but the first one is Super Fantasy Kingdom. And Super Fantasy Kingdom is, I don't want to say it's the best game I've ever played, but it's really good. And it's a weird hybrid of several different genres. It's, as the name implies, it's kind of a city building game, but not entirely. It's also kind of a tower defense game, but also not exactly. But it's also a roguelike game. So it's one of those games where you keep failing over and over and over again. And every time you fail, you start to unlock stuff so you're more powerful the next time. The next time you start a new kingdom, you have more stuff and more resources and more things available. So each time your kingdom is destroyed, it's kind of like a Majora's Mask thing where everyone's stuck in like this endless loop. And each time you fail, you unlock something new. Or you unlock something new in the game, and then it goes with you into the next cycle, and you're more powerful, and you're just slowly amassing this power until you get towards the, once you've unlocked almost everything, you can just breeze through the game like really quickly with all these tools you have at your disposal. And I haven't unlocked everything in the game, but I have unlocked almost everything, so I can usually get through without losing any of my heroes or anything. And it's a really, really fantastic game. If you like roguelike games, it's so good. And it has like, when I start it up, you'll see the way the game looks. It's such a cool game, and I'm so glad it came out when it did. And then the other game I played is actually a very old game, Transport Tycoon, which is a game I've known about since around the time it came out. I've known about it for almost 30 years now, because I remember seeing this image on the cover when I got SimCity 2000, and it was probably 95, 96. I think that was around the time I got SimCity 2000, but I remember seeing this image. I don't know if it was on a box near it or in the little manual thing, because back in the day, they'd have these little advertisement things that came in boxes with the games you bought. And I could have swore this image right here for Transport Tycoon was in that little advertisement thing. So I've been aware that this game existed for 30 years, but I only recently found out, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I stumbled on a video about it, and Roller Coaster Tycoon, which if anyone who knows me knows that Roller Coaster Tycoon is to this day still my favorite game ever made. It's my absolute favorite game. And I found out that Transport Tycoon was made by Chris Sawyer, who's the same guy that made Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I'm like, wow, I gotta look into this Transport Tycoon game. And I found out it's basically abandonware, so it's free to download, and a bunch of people have fixed all the bugs and everything and recompiled it into something called Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, and I got it several days ago because I'm not going to go into details, but a tragic event happened a few days ago, and I'm just like, I need a new game or something, so I got Transport Tycoon. It was the exact game I needed. It's not as good as Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it's such a good game. And it's basically, I would call it a supply. It's going to sound really boring when I describe it. It's a supply chain simulator. You're basically building railroad, road, and airplane and boat networks to different resources to bring these resources through a chain of industry to then deliver to cities to help the cities grow. So if you played Factorio, it's kind of like Factorio, but not quite as gonzo as that. If you played any of the Anno games, it's kind of like the Anno games, but I honestly think Transport Tycoon is better than all of them, which is crazy because it's such an old game. So those are two games that I played in the last 2 months, and they both happen to be two of the best games I've ever played. And I'm going to play one of them right now, and I guess I'll leave it to a vote, although I'm pretty sure I know which one's going to win based on my audience. So There's a way to do a little vote thing on YouTube, isn't there? Let me see if I can find it. Start a poll. There we go. So I'll put a vote as to which one I should play first. Because depending on how tired I am, I might only play one of them. Game should I play first? And then, let's see, Super Fantasy Kingdom, and they're both really good games, so I'm fine playing either of them. Although right now I'm really into Transport Tycoon, because I played a lot of Super Fantasy Kingdom in November, because it came out at the end of October, and I highly, if you guys just get both of these games. Transport Tycoon is completely free, just look up Open Transport Tycoon, and Super Fantasy Kingdom is not free, but it's worth every penny. It's not that expensive. I think it's only like $10. It's pretty cheap, and there's a lot of content in it. It's going to last you months. Especially if you don't play it constantly, although I played it, there was a few days there I played it like 12 hours a day, and I still haven't unlocked everything in it. Is the vote thing working? Can you guys see it? Okay, there we go. Now I can see it. Wow, Transport Tycoon's winning? Really? Wow. Oh, Super Fantasy Kingdom's catching up. Oh, I think Transport Tycoon might win. Let's see how many people. There's 19 people watching, so when it gets to about 15 votes, maybe I'll call it. Because then it'll be an odd number of votes, too. Oh, they're both 50%, 50 and 50. I'll also make sure you guys can see what's going on before I start playing. Oh, Super Fantasy Kingdom is taking the lead. Oh, nope, it went back down to 50-50. Let me see if anyone in the audience has played either of these games. Have any of you played either of these games? See, Reluctant Warrior has asked, has Estelle seen this yet? What in particular, what are you referring to? Has she seen? Do you mean the level I was working on, or the stream, this live stream? What were you referring to? I usually show her everything as I'm working on stuff, so if it's something I've been working on, she's probably seen it. And let's see, the Malva. Yes, she's seen the Malva. I showed it to her before I showed it to anyone else, while it was still a work in progress. And now she's doing the voiceovers for that animation. Hopefully she'll have them done sometime in the next week. Actually, I'm doing a live stream with her. We were originally going to do a live stream either yesterday or today, but as I said, the last few days have been just way too much stuff going on in my personal life. And there's also a lot of stuff going on in Estelle's life right now, so it's just really, really bad timing for both of us. Because we were going to do the Christmas stream. We're going to do it after Christmas, though. Sometime before the New Year. It's going to be like a kind of a New Year stream instead of a Christmas stream. So I'll let you guys know, because we haven't set up a specific day for that. We're waiting until Christmas is done to figure out what's going on. We're going to do a Christmas stream with a K, making a pun kind of. And then we're going to show the new website that I was going to say that we made, but technically her and I didn't actually make the website. We contracted it out to get made. And it's a really, really cool website that we're going to start selling plushies and legally distinct Star Fox plushies on. So we'll talk about that more when we do the live stream. But yeah, that's going to be really cool. I haven't really talked about that because Estelle wanted to keep it a secret, but she's posted news about it now. So I think it's safe to talk about it. But we got like a website, and we've been in talks with a company to basically make plushies for us. So we're gonna start designing, and we're gonna bring in other creators too that want to design plushies. We're still kind of getting all the legal stuff in place, but we're gonna basically have like this little side business where we make like legally distinct Star Fox plushies. that you guys can buy if you're interested in. It's not going to be like Makeship where it's like, oh, they're only available for 2 weeks. They're going to be available, you know, forever until we retire or whatever. So the vote's still at 50-50, by the way. So I guess I'll do the tiebreaker I'm waiting for it to get to 15 votes. We're up to 12 votes, but it's still 50% Super Fantasy Kingdom and then 50% Transport Tycoon. So we're going to need a tiebreaker, people. There's apparently 21 people watching and only 13 people have voted now. Wow, Transport Tycoon's winning. I'm actually surprised. I was dead certain it was going to be like 99% Super Fantasy Kingdom and just the one weirdo like me who would vote Transport Tycoon, but it looks like quite a few people voted for Transport Tycoon. Jez 2007 played Transport Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon for about as long as Star Fox 64. I've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon since 2 weeks after it came out, all the way back in 1999. Roller Coaster Tycoon is my personal favorite game ever, and regardless of my opinion, it's still like one of the best games ever made. It's a fucking marvel. Transport Tycoon is almost as good, but not quite. But it's still fucking fantastic, and it's probably just because it was his first game, and he was still kind of working things out, and by the time he got to Roller Coaster Tycoon, it's like he'd figured out, his weaknesses and stuff, and Roller Coaster Tycoon just turned out perfect. But Transport Tycoon is amazing. I played it for the first time about 5 days ago, and for about the first 10 minutes, I'm dealing with the old 90s jank. I'm frustrated trying to figure everything out, and then there's that moment when everything clicks, and I'm like, oh my god, this is one of the best games ever made. I don't know if I would have liked Transport Tycoon if I actually played it in the 90s, because when I was still a kid, it might have been too complicated for me, and I might have just not understood everything going on. I might have got frustrated, but I've played a lot of what I call supply chain simulators, and I got the hang of it after about like a half hour, and I'm like, oh, I see how it works. I see how the rail networks work. There's just a bunch of old 90s jank in it. That's in a lot of 90s games, before they really figured out stuff. So it feels kind of clunky to do stuff in it because it's so old, but it's better than any other supply chain simulator I've ever played. Oh, Strauss says, thanks for partnering with C3D. My retrofit R-Wing miniature is on its way. Can't wait to paint it. Yeah, I really like how those have turned out. I've seen some people have already painted their R-Wings, and they look really cool. I'm really looking forward to the next batch because it'll have the armored R-Wing and the light R-Wing in it, and I really want those two R-Wings. And what was the third R-Wing? Crystal, the Cloud Runner R-Wing, which I actually already have. I'll go ahead and show it. Crystal's R-Wing is going to come with those also. I've shown this on a stream before, but some of you might not have been around back then. But the next wing is going to have the Cloud Runner R-Wing. Let me make it big, actually. I just realized my little webcam thing is so tiny, you probably can't even see this. There's the... That's going to come with the light R-Wing and the armored R-Wing in the next wave. So the Cloud Runner R-Wing, which is loosely based on the armored R-Wing. If you noticed the central hull, Crystal kind of based the design on it's like inverted controls where the camera looks like it's mirrored. So like I'm trying to move it to the left and it moves to the right. There we go. Now it's pretty centered. But Crystal based the hull off of the armored R-Wing when she got it commissioned. So it's got some design elements similar to the armored R-Wing. So yeah, that one's going to come with the light and the armored R-Wing. And then I was going to say something else related to this. What was I going to say? I don't remember. I guess I'll show this, though. earlier, I think it was really late last night because I didn't check my mail. Well, actually, I didn't check my mail. Lizzie did. I didn't get this till like almost midnight last night. But the fourth annual Estelle Christmas card showed up. It was a bit of a glare from the computer, but so all the high tier patrons, if you're not in America, if you're in Australia or Canada, you might actually already have these. But if you're in America, all of the USA ones just showed up here last night, and I just mailed them out today, so they should be showing up sometime. I want to say the next few days, but because of Christmas, the mail system might be all backed up. But yeah, that's the fourth one. I can't believe I've been working with Estelle for 4 years now. It's crazy. Doesn't feel like it's been 4 years. And I'll put that back up there later. I really like the one from last year. I'll go and show this one. I think this one's my favorite. Sorbin did this one. I really like this one. I don't know if it's showing up well in the webcam, but this one is my favorite of the four at the moment. Where'd the other two go? Whatever, I'll look for the other two later. Anyway, let me check with... Okay, Super Fantasy Kingdom is winning, and we're at 16 votes. So Super Fantasy Kingdom won at 56% of the votes. So we'll do Super Fantasy Kingdom first, which probably is a good idea because Super Fantasy Kingdom, it takes about an hour and a half to get through a run. Whereas Transport Tycoon, you literally could just play for like 20 hours and still have a bunch of stuff to do. So Super Fantasy Kingdom winning and being played first is probably the good idea. Because if I did Transport Tycoon, I probably just wouldn't stop for the rest of the night. See, Toastamac. Rob is in the audience. He's asking, with the plushies, what do you mean by legally distinct? What I mean is they have enough design differences and their names are different so that they're not the exact Star Fox character. A great example would be, I have an example right here, which this plushie, or a variation because this one was made by Makeship, but the Crystal plushie, which is, Crystal with a slightly different fur color and the glasses and a slightly different outfit, and the little logo is a little bit different. We've been talking with the company, to make sure that, things are legally fine. So we're just tweaking the designs a bit so that everything's kind of legally distinct. So yeah, we might have a legally distinct Rob. Maybe we'll call him Bob. But that's an example. And, the name is Crystal. It's spelled a little bit differently than Crystal. Actually, literally about 2 minutes before I started the stream, I noticed on Twitter, Estelle, she sent this plushie to Imamura, the guy who actually designed Crystal, the Adventures design. And he had some nice words to say about that on Twitter. So yeah, the guy who designed Crystal actually has a legally distinct Crystal plushie. I literally just saw that like not even like a minute before I started the stream. This is Bob64. I don't get paid enough for this shit. We'll worry about the name when we get to it. We're still trying to make sure everything is, ready to go. And the first one we're going to do is, a Crystal design. It's going to be based on, I'll keep it a surprise. But anyway, Super Fantasy Kingdom won. Let me end the poll. People are still voting, but it's still in first place, so. Alright, so let me fire up Super Fantasy Kingdom and make sure it's on top of everything. Let's go to OBS and move it to the top. Okay, let me know if it shows up for you guys. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit so I'm not too distracted. And I'll wait till it shows up on the YouTube window I have open over there. Oh, it looks like it's just showing my desktop. Huh. That's weird. Is it not going to work? You know what? I think I know what's going on. I have to set it to detect a game, not... I have to set it to detect a game, not a window. So let me do that. So let's see, new game capture, Super Fantasy Kingdom, capture specific window. Oh, I closed Super. Let me open it back up. Sorry guys, boomer tech issues. It's the same thing with FreeSpace. I was setting it to window capture. I need to set it to game capture, I think. Window. Where's Super Fantasy Kingdom? It's not showing up. Drat. Come on. Capture specific window. I might have to just do full screen. There we go. Now it's showing up. Okay, can you guys see this now? Can you see Super Fantasy Kingdom now? Try and make my window as small as possible so it's not in the way. Maybe I'll move it over to the right side. Alright, I'll wait to see what it looks like on YouTube again. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's working now. Alright, let me know if you guys, can you hear? I have the volume down kind of low so I'm not too distracted by sounds when I'm playing it, but does the volume in the background sound fine? Is it too low? Okay, you guys can at least see it. Can you guys hear it though? I'll click on some buttons. Oh, there's barely any sound. Maybe that'll bring up some sound. Can you guys hear the sound effects, or is it way too quiet? I'll turn it up if you guys want to hear the sound effects, but I'm probably going to turn the music down because it'll just get too distracting. So, let's turn the music up. That might work, because I kind of need the sound effects to notice certain things, but the music will be so distracting I won't be able to multitask with the chat or whatever while I'm playing. Okay, I see one person that says can see, but no one says if they can hear it or not. I guess while I'm waiting for people to answer. So, Super Fantasy Kingdom is a kind of city simulator, kind of tower defense game, roguelite. It's a mix of a bunch of different genres, and it's awesome. And you basically have a pick between two different kingdoms. You can play as a living or an undead kingdom. And they both have quite a few gameplay differences, which I wasn't expecting, but it's awesome. So I'll probably just do the human one first, and then I'll go to... I kind of want to go to undead. Now, I'll do the human one first, because I've unlocked more stuff with that. Did everyone leave? Because, like, the chat just stopped. Are you guys there? Did everyone leave now that I picked a game? Okay, I see Strassa. You seem to still be there, but I don't know if everyone else left. But I think I'm going to pick the humans, because I unlocked the other starting hero or whatever. So, there's a bunch of different heroes you can unlock to start with. So far, the two best ones I've found are these two at the bottom. The spider lady and this, like, fire golem that, like, self-destructs. He basically, he walks out and he, like, self-destructs and blows up everything around him. He's really good, but I think the spider one's probably the best. She summons, like, these swarms of spiders. So I'm probably going to pick one of those two. But there's a vampire guy who's okay. To me, the two worst heroes are actually these two guys here. Mort, who's basically death. I don't know if you know Latin. His name's kind of a pun. But he instantly kills a target that he gets to. But he can only kind of hit one guy at a time. So... As the game goes on and more monsters are like swarming at your kingdom, he kind of, I don't know, I might just need to figure out how to play, like how to use him more properly, but he kind of sucks at the moment. But to me, the worst character in the game is actually this guy, Grumdil, and it's easier to show why I find him to be the worst hero than to describe it. But basically, he he has a minimum range, so he can't attack anything immediately around him, but he also doesn't have that far of a range, so he has a very narrow area of attack where he jumps at people with his hammer, and I really feel like he should be able to hit people next to him with his hammer. I don't know. And his upgrades just don't seem that good, so to me, these two guys are like the worst heroes in the game at the moment, whereas these two at the bottom are the best. All the other heroes, they usually start out kind of bad, but as you upgrade them, they get like the two knights, the Rickard and then the undead knight. These guys start out kind of bad, but when you upgrade them, they're fucking fantastic and amazing. Like the undead knight can just summon all of these skeletal warriors that like follow him around. He's really good late in the game when he's fully upgraded. And then Rickard makes all of your guys immune to poison, which actually is really, really useful towards the late game. And I find that's the case with the other heroes too, where they start out kind of bad, but they get really good as you upgrade them. But these two down here, the Cole and I think it's Quella, they're like super good right at the start of the game. I don't know, Kella I think is the best, and Cole is probably the second best. He can also, if you fully upgrade Cole, he makes everyone in your army completely immune to fire, which is insanely powerful against some of the monsters and like the final boss that does fire damage. So yeah, these two are just fantastic. But I'm gonna pick. I think I'll pick Quella because she's just really good, and I've unlocked tons of the equipment, so I'm just gonna get all the health boosting stuff and probably going to get someone with a I'm going to get the speed thing. Yeah, double speed. Alright, so, and I've set it to there's basically 5 different, I guess there's technically 6. There's 6 different difficulty levels that you unlock, and then as you go through the difficulty levels, they add more monsters and stuff to the game, and it lets you unlock more stuff. So I made it to the highest difficulty level, which I've actually beaten several times, but I'm going to try and beat it again. So I guess I'll go ahead and start, and if you guys are bored or I'm not paying attention, let me know, and I'll switch to Transport Tycoon. Yeah, I really love the graphics of this game.
To my cause.
So anyway, so I have the pause on at the start, so everything doesn't start running. But so you start out with like this completely ruined castle and like a ruined monastery, and you just kind of figure out, because the area around it is kind of randomized at the start too, where the resources are. Like the gold is over here, the stone is down here, and the trees are pretty evenly scattered. So you'll usually want to kind of build your resource gathering things as close to these resources as possible, but I've unlocked stuff where I can kind of place them wherever I want, because I've unlocked almost everything. I also unlocked a second hero as a starter when I picked the bee, so I'll put the bee there. So yeah, this part of the game here is like a city building simulator, and then up here is where you put all of your heroes to defend the bridge from all these monsters that try to swarm into your city. And then you build walls and towers and stuff down here. So up here, it's kind of like a tower defense game. It's just a really interesting, and weird like hybrid of different genres that just kind of works really well. So let me move all these items down here. I'm going to save the boots for some other heroes. Oh, I might give one of them to the spider lady. Anyway, let me start by fixing up the castle. So I'll repair the castle, and then I'm going to start building some resources. I'll put the tavern in the middle here, which is usually what I do. I will put the I'll put the lumber mill right here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put the lumber mill right here. And then I'm going to put a house here. The houses provide you with more workers, which the game is kind of abstract. Like instead of one worker, I think it's supposed to represent like a bunch of workers, but you use your workers to gather the different resources and stuff, and each house you build gives you one more worker. And workers are like super duper important in the game. And then what else do I want to build? Oh, I can fix it up further, or upgrade it. So yeah, I'm going to upgrade the castle. And then, now I've uncovered a lot of the world. When you first start this game, you have like none of the map uncovered, and you slowly unlock bits of the map. And then there's like different places on the map that have different things you can buy. And there's like these empty things that you can build that provide you the resources and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to build a bonfire, because the bonfire summons more monsters, which lets you unlock more stuff. And I'm also going to pick some extra wood. And then I think there's a few more over here. Right here. Some extra stone, and I'll do extra wheat. And then I'll be low on gold, but that's okay. Because I have a geologist thing unlocked to where I can find gold everywhere. So I guess I'll unpause. And then let's see how much resources I got. Do I want to build the second house already? No, I want to build the sawmill so I can start turning... I can start turning the wood into planks, and then I can build a dock, and I can repair, because you need planks to repair the church. So I'll send 3 of my workers to start doing that, and then I'll get 2 more to get more wood to get more planks. And then there goes all the little workers. I don't know why I really like the sprites in this game. There's just something really nice about them. I actually got a lot of stone, so I might get the swordsman pretty soon. And there goes the little mules are what gathers the resources to bring them back to the castle. But because I'm kind of like multitasking and trying to keep track of the audience, I'm probably going to screw up a few times in this game. I feel like I've gotten really good at like getting a pattern down where I don't like make any mistakes and I can kind of breeze through the game. But because I'm like talking and stuff, I'm probably going to screw up at some point. So let's build the port so I can start getting fish. Actually, I'll also I'll build the lighthouse so that the little boat can go out. So let me pause it. So yeah, if you build a dock and you build a lighthouse, it sends out this boat to go explore over here. And you don't really need to do that to actually get through the game, but if you do it from the first day, it's able to explore all the way to the very end, and you can unlock all kinds of cool stuff over there, including an extra spot to fully upgrade a hero, but I'll explain that when I get to that point, to fully upgrade a hero. There's a lot of things going on in this game. I'm probably going to forget to explain something, and I'm probably going to do something that makes no sense, so I apologize. I probably should have just started a new game where I don't have anything unlocked. Then I'd die like really fast. But there, now I can fix the church. And then I want to get a nun, because the nuns start, because you have a bunch of resources, but your 2 main resources that you use to get most of the stuff is coin and faith. And you get coin from taxes from the king walks around and generates money from taxes, and then when you repair the church generates money from taxes too. But when you get some nuns, it generates faith, and you use faith to upgrade your heroes down here and some other stuff, which is really, really important because you want to keep upgrading your heroes. And actually, it looks like monsters are attacking already. So yeah, the spider lady sends out all these little spiders, and then I love the bee. How it just shoots like little swarms of bees when they come in range. And the bees just go and attack everyone. It's really cool. Anyway, I've probably already screwed up pretty badly. Do I have enough berries for... I don't have enough berries for a nun yet. And then yeah, each the day is basically, or the game is split up into cycles of days, which is this little... Oh, you can't see it because my webcam is in the way. Let me move the webcam to the bottom right, because there's not really a lot of info in the bottom right of the screen. But like there's this kind of like in Majora's Mask, there's like this day cycle thing going on here. And basically the game takes place over this full month of 29 days, and then a boss shows up at the end of each week, and then you beat the game if you make it to the 29th day after you beat the last boss. And there's like one extra day after the boss where like a massive swarm of monsters just tries to destroy you in the final day. It's really cool. But so basically, yeah, during the day your workers are doing stuff, and then when nighttime comes they all go to sleep, and hopefully you've gathered up enough resources to last through the night. And then when the night is over and they've killed all the monsters, the day ends. And then all your heroes go to the tavern to level up. And they level up based on the food you've gathered, which is kind of interesting. So the better food you gather, the more experience points they get. I also I'm sorry, guys. There is a cat meowing in the background. I'm sorry. Is she distracting you guys too much? Let me know. I'll wait to continue if the meowing's too much. Yeah, I think she's a bit sad lately.
Outstanding.
Anyway, so now that we're on the next day, you get, because it's a roguelite, so there's a lot of RNG, so you get to pick a random hero on the second day, and every few days you'll get to pick a random like item or something. But on day 2 you get to pick a hero, so I'm either going to pick the Ghoul or the Death Priest, because they're both really, the Death Priest is really, really good. So I'm probably going to pick the Death Priest, but the Ghoul is also good, but not really at the start. When the Ghoul's fully upgraded, he gets a lot better. But I think I'm going to go with the Death Priest. You can also spend Faith to reroll to get different heroes, but the Death Priest is so good, I think I'm just going to pick the Death Priest. And I'll put him... So I'll put him back here and move the bee up there. I'm going to end up putting the Death Priest on the castle wall when I build a castle wall, because he's better up there. And then there's this pirates here that I unlocked that I can give them money, and they'll go find a bunch of gold and stuff for me. So I'm probably just skimming through some of the features of this game. But yeah, if you guys get bored, just let me know. Because I'm not really a streamer, so I'm not really like, probably not really that exciting when I'm playing games, and I kind of get so focused on them that I don't really interact with the audience. So if it gets really boring, just let me know. Anyway, is there anything else I want to do? So I need to get the gold mine next. I'm going to need a lot more wood. Oh, can I get... Okay, good. I can get the nuns. I'll put the nuns at the dock there. The nuns also make it so your workers work faster. I think it's like 30%. Yeah, 30% faster. So I usually put the first nun on the dock here, because the dock actually works pretty slow, but if you put her on the dock, it works faster. Also, when I get the brewery to make booze, because yeah, booze is like the best, most powerful resource in the game. You can give beer to your heroes and it makes them drunk, but they like attack super fast and their stats are way better. So once you work up to building a brewery and getting booze, I'll usually put a nun on the brewery so they're like spamming beer really fast. Which is just funny to me, the idea of like a nun, like just getting people at the brewery to make the beer fast. This is really funny to me, that image in my head. So yeah, I'm going to want to put a lot of people on wood and the sawmill so I can get a gold mine. So I can start getting gold. And alright, let's unpause. That should be good. Also, another really useful thing about the church is it predicts the weather for the following day. Like, you'll see a little weather icon above it. It says tomorrow is snowy, so no one will be able to gather crops, but I don't have farms yet, so it's not really a big deal. Actually, I think they can gather fish on snowy days. I don't remember. There's the taxes that just got collected. But I highly recommend getting this game. I don't even know if I'm doing it justice because I'm not really a good at live streaming games. But this is like such a fun game. And yeah, another thing about the Death Priest that's really useful is he summons these little bubbles on everyone that protects them from one hit. And then the bubbles will respawn at the start every 8 seconds. When he gets upgraded, then, the time... His stats get better and the time reduces to, it looks like 6.5 seconds. But he is super useful because these bubbles end up being... Especially against some of the bosses, these protective bubbles are really useful. They're not that good when, like, large swarms of monsters are, like... Because they only protect against one attack, so they're better against, like, projectile attacks from some of the bosses, but... he's really useful. Okay, that should be enough planks for a gold mine, so I'll put everyone back on berries, because I want to make some fishermen house. Oh, I should have done that first before I got the nun. I should have got the fisher hut to start gathering fish. To boost the production of the dock with more fisher huts. Yeah, if it seems like I'm not paying attention to the chat, just let me know, because it's hard for me to multitask when I play games. Even though I can pause this game, and I pause it a lot to figure out what I'm going to do. I might get so caught up in what's going on that I might miss things in the chat for a few minutes. And I have enough to make a gold mine now, so I'll make it up here. And then tomorrow I'll send a bunch of people to get gold. I also like when the sun goes down, it's time for everyone to go home. If they're still doing work, they'll start working really, really fast to get home. Which is a really funny little detail to me. It's like everyone wants to go home so badly, they get through their work really fast. And then, is there any wood there? No, I do want more people on the lumber mill tomorrow. And then I think... I still don't have enough for a fisher hut? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I already screwed up really badly. I should have a fisher hut by now, so I already messed up really badly. Oh well. Oh, someone in the chat says, been a while since I've been around. I remember you, Eldrin, from the Hyrule Total War days on the old, was it the Total War Heaven forums or whatever they were called? I remember that name. How have you been? I don't think I've talked to you in at least 5 years, but probably longer. Gibson Clans, yes, there's a public Discord for the Star Fox game, but also a private one for the patrons. The public one is actually, it's the Hardlight Discord. It's basically a Discord for all the games made in the engine that the Star Fox game uses. And then Star Fox Event Horizon has its own channel, but I'll go ahead and post I posted it earlier, but I'll post the invite in the chat again. So let me get that for you. And paste. So there's the Hardlight Productions Discord. There's a Star Fox Event Horizon channel in there, and I show the stuff that I've kind of finished in there. So that's the closest thing there is to a public Star Fox Discord. But there's a private one for patrons though, which is a little more detailed, and I show a lot of stuff early there because it's for patrons. But anyway. I think I'll do that. I'll play through a day and kind of focus on that, and then when the day's over, I'll look at the chat. I think that might work. So anyway, it looks like this boat has already discovered something. Looks like I discovered a barrel with a fish and a stone on this island here. And there's something going on up here. Oh, I found a little scroll of wisdom. Actually, since Eldrin, you mentioned Hyrule Total War, there's actually quite a few Zelda-related Easter eggs in this. Like, there's a fairy character that you can unlock, and each character has a description, and the description for the fairy character says, hey, listen. So there's a few little Zelda Easter eggs in this game, actually, that I think are kind of funny. There's a lot of Warcraft Easter eggs in this game, though. I've noticed a lot of things that make me think of Warcraft, specifically Warcraft 3 in this game. So I think that the guy who made this game probably really, really likes Warcraft 3. Or maybe Warcraft in general, but Oh, I need to save it for another house, so I'm not gonna take people off of lumber. But I do want to get the the prospector thing first. Or not prospector, the geologist, because he can find more gold. So spend some gold on him and I'll get more gold in return. And I also need berries so I can make more fisherman huts to make the dock go faster, which I should already have one fisherman hut. So I probably already screwed up the whole run. Or just made it much harder for myself. So I'll have them focus on getting berries and gold. And I don't see anyone going to get fish. So I'm going to put the little star on there so the workers go after the fish first. There was an update to this game a few days ago that changed a bunch of stuff. And I think it changed the priorities of resources. Normally, workers always seem to go to the dock first before anything else, but now it looks like they don't. So I have to put the little priority. You can prioritize certain buildings by hitting the Z key, and the little star will show up above it. So I'm going to prioritize the dock so they keep getting fish first. I have a feeling they probably reduce the rate that fish get gathered. Because the fish are kind of broken in the game. Once you have a fish and two little fisherman huts set up, you basically like have more than enough food for the rest of the run, even on like the really hard difficulty levels. So yeah, every day you pick which monsters you want to add to their army too that attack you, and then if you look above them, it like says which, it has like these little icons which correspond to these over here. And then if you pick 3 of them, someone from one of those kingdoms will show up and give you like an item or whatever. So I'm going to pick the Swamp Kingdom because the Swamp Kingdom gives you some cool stuff. But to me, the best items are actually from the Nature Kingdom. They give you these healing things, but I already have 3 of them here. So I don't really need any more of them. Oh, that reminds me. I should get the Swordsman. Let me buy the Swordsman. He's really good. So I'm going to put him here next to the bee. And I'm going to give him the regen thing and the little barrier item. So he's got like an extra shield thing, and now he has regenerating health too because I put the little rejuvenate thing on him. Alright. I do have enough berries for a hut now, so let me build a little fisherman hut. Now they're going out to get fish. And I want more berries for a second hut, but I need a lot. I need 12. And they're going to get gold at the little gold mines here. I love these little sprites. They're so cute. Actually, when I first saw the sprite for the little gold miner, I realized eventually that thing behind him was his pickaxe, but I actually thought it was just like gray hair. So I'm like, why are all the gold miners like old guys with gray hair? And it didn't dawn on me until I saw them gathering the gold that they're actually bald, and that's not hair. That's like that's their little pickaxe. I was kind of embarrassed when I realized that. I'm like, oh, they're not old, they're bald, and that's their pickaxe, like slung over their shoulders. Anyway, that should be enough gold to get a geologist. I want 2 more planks to upgrade. No, I want more. I forgot to build... Yeah, I already screwed up this run. I forgot to build the quarry. So I can start upgrading the roads and getting stone. So yeah, I'm going to need a lot more of that. Missing wood. Yeah, I know wood is missing. See how these guys are doing up here. Spiders and bees. Yeah, no. So actually, one. Even though I think I screwed up this run, I think I'm actually going to do pretty well in this run for a while because the spider character, when I upgrade her, she has upgrades that improve the attack rates of summoners, and I already have two guys who are summoners. The bee is a summoner, and the death priest is a summoner. If I get a 3rd summoner, or even a 4th, I don't think I've... Well, yeah, I have gotten more than 3, because you actually have to get 4 summoners to unlock the bee in the first place. If I get a 3rd and a 4th summoner and I upgrade her, they're going to be attacking so fast, like sending out all of their there's spiders and bees, and the Death Priest summons these little disembodied hands that go after people, but his range is really short compared to everyone else. I don't think he summoned any yet. He will right there. So yeah, he summons like these little hands. So after I've fully upgraded the spider lady, I'm probably gonna just have like a huge army of spiders and bees and hands, like just this giant wave of them, like constantly going up, which will be really cool. And that day's over, so I'll look at the chat now. Alright, let's see what you guys are saying. Straswa, I gotta get going. Great stream, Ice Cream Man. I love your work so far. See y'all next time. Yeah, thank you for joining, and I hope you have a good one, and thank you for showing up. I won't be surprised if people start leaving now, because I don't know how many of you guys are interested in me actually playing games. I have a feeling most people are probably more interested in seeing the Star Fox stuff. Little Dancing Dog, yes, I have 2 cats right now. You were hearing one of them meowing. She stopped meowing. I think she just wanted some attention from my wife. So yeah, I see people talking about the mules. Oh, the meows don't bother you? Okay. Funnily enough, she stopped meowing when I mentioned it, but yeah, if you guys don't mind the meows, then thankfully you guys seem to like cats, and cats are really cool. I know there's some people I just don't... I remember a few years ago I was on a live stream with someone else, and the cat was meowing incessantly, and no matter what I did, the cat wouldn't stop. And the host of that live stream got really mad at me. It was basically like, can you get the cat to shut up? They were like really mad at me. And ever since then, I've been really conscious of the cats meowing during a stream. But if it doesn't bother you guys, then that's awesome. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I've joined the Hardlight Discord. Awesome. Merry Christmas, Neff. How's it going? At the moment, it's going all right, but it's this year the hasn't gone very well towards the end of the year. I have to say, there's been a little bit of tragedy in my personal life lately, but we're hanging in there, and these games are fun. So I think my headphones are falling apart. The freaking the little freaking rubber guard thing fell on my headphones in the middle of a stream. Great. Let me see if I can get this back on, because it's really uncomfortable with that. Okay, I got it back on at least. It's probably because I'm gonna take this hat off. I think the hat is making my head too big, and it's like my headphones aren't fitting properly. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Maybe I should try putting it on top of the headphones. Does it even... Nah, it doesn't really fit. I wanted to wear my little Santa hat because every December for years, I'd wear a Santa hat from December 1st until New Year's Day, and then I stopped doing it for several years because I'd moved, and I don't know, I didn't misplace it. I just kind of put it in a spot where I didn't really see it. And then this year I was doing a bunch of cleaning. What was I doing actually? Was I cleaning? I was doing something in November where I ended up stumbling on this hat, and I'm like, oh, I gotta wash it and wear it again this year like I used to every December. So I've started wearing my Santa hat again every December. So I'll just set it over here for now because it doesn't go well with the headphones. It's making the little ear things pop off. Excuse me. My soda's starting to have its effect on my stomach. Anyway, let's see what else you guys said before I go to the next day. Jason, you see my questions. Had someone on Discord want to chat with me earlier. Which Discord? The Hardlight Discord? Let me go look at the Hardlight Discord, which I'm on, actually. Oh, Eldrin, I see you in the Hardlight Discord now. Awesome. Yeah, I remember your little icon from years ago. I don't see Mr. Crystal, not the Mr. Crystal, but Crystal Kingdom General. Were you talking about the Hardlight Discord? Because I don't see you saying anything there. Or is it a different Discord? Oh, he's talking about something else. Oh, okay. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? I'm enjoying the game so far. Oh, I don't know if you mean the Star Fox game or this game, but thank you either way. I think I've caught up with the chat, so I'll go to the next day. So let me have these guys eat their food and level up. None of them leveled up because I'm just getting fish. Once I get beer, though, they'll get really strong. It looks like the boat found some wood down there. And the boat found this little island here, which you can get the griffin. Although, as much as I love this griffin, it sadly doesn't seem to be very good. So I almost never get the griffin unless it's very late in the game and I have tons of fish and I have an empty spot on one of the castle towers that I can put them on. Otherwise, I never really get the griffin. And one of the reasons the griffin isn't that good to me is he can't attack any of the bosses. I think every single guy you can get can attack and damage the boss, but the griffin actually can't do any damage to any of the bosses, as far as I'm aware. So I don't really use the griffin that much. There's a lady that looks like Impa here, who's trying to sell me the rainbow rainbow metal thing. Which you use the rainbow metals to get items. You know, these items here that I start the game with. None of these guys, I think, will benefit from the little Pegasus boot things, though. So if I got the ghoul, I would have given him the boots. Because the ghoul, the boots affects... Because there's some characters that actually run out to go attack enemies. And the boots are really, really useful for those guys because they'll run a lot faster. And the ghoul's one of the characters that runs out to go attack people. So I usually give the ghoul the boots. But so far, the four characters I got, 3 of them are summoners. So they just sit there and they summon other guys to go attack. And then the swordsman, he's a defender. So he just sits there and he guards everything around him with the sword and shield. So he doesn't run at all. So yeah, I can't even give him the boot because it doesn't affect him. The boot will affect the boot will affect the speed of the guys that the summoner summon, but I find the boots are better on guys that actually run out to attack enemies. So I usually wait until I max out the party, and then I'll give the boots to those guys, and if I have extra boots or I get more boots, then I'll start giving it to the summoners. I don't think archers can get boots too, because the archers also don't run out. The archers you put in towers, and they attack with their ranged weapon from a distance. Like there's an archer, a crossbowman, a guy with a musket, and then there's the lich who fires like a laser beam. I don't think they use the boots either, because they just stay still and attack from a distance. So I think the boots only affect summoners and then people that run out and attack enemies, like cavalry attack enemies. Like up here, there's the guy on the horse. The boot would affect him. He runs out there and attacks guys. But anyway, what day am I on? Day 4. Okay, so yeah, I definitely needed the swordsman on day 4 because the guys with the giant axes start attacking on day 4, and the swordsman's really good at fighting them. I need a lot of wood. I need to start getting the castle wall so I can put the death priest on the wall. So I got 4. I'm gonna need 2 more of that. So yeah, I'm just gonna put a bunch of people on wood. Oh, I can get the little geologist tent. So let me order the geologist to go look for gold over here. So yeah, now the geologist is going to go look for more gold that can be gathered. Which when I first got this game, I thought he was kind of useless, but it seems like the best way to find more gold than building an actual mine here to get the gold out of the gold mine. Because he also finds more stuff other than gold, too. He'll find stone and bushes and other things that are useful, too. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. I waited too long to start the day that I forgot what my plan was. I'm going to do the Nature Kingdom up here, so I'll pick the little jester. And I definitely want more berries so I can get another fisherman hut. Okay, that should be enough people on wood. 5, 6. Yeah, I'm kind of... Oh, yeah, here comes the guy with the axe. These guys are... Unless you have a melee guy, these things are really annoying to fight. But I got a swordsman, so... And you can fight him in a melee. And my swordsman has regenerating health and, like, an extra shield thing. So he's pretty good against those guys with the axes. But yeah, if you don't have a melee guy or someone with close range, those things with axes will just mow through all your heroes, like, really quickly. I can almost upgrade the spider lady. I just need one more faith and I can upgrade her. Which should be good because her upgrade boosts the speed of summoners. There we go. Now I should be able to upgrade her. Okay. So I'm going to pick the summoner one because it's a 25% attack rate. A cooldown reduction for the little book symbols for summoners. So the Death Priest... and the bees will attack 25% faster, which is really useful. However, if for some reason you don't get summoners, this is probably better because then they'll kind of go to a waste. But I almost always have at least one summoner if I can help it, so I usually pick the summoner upgrade for the spider lady. So yeah, now the bee and the death priest will attack. I can already tell the bee is attacking faster. Yeah, it was reduced to 0.75 seconds, so... For the record, I think the bee is the best character in the game. The best character you can get in your party. And by best, I mean it seems best at all points in the game, whether it's before it's been upgraded and when the bee's fully upgraded. It's just shooting bees out everywhere. It's so useful. There's some other characters that are really good, like, that are just as good as the bee when you fully upgrade them, like the ghost. When you fully upgrade the ghost and you give it beer, it's just... I can't even describe it. It's just... It's funny to see it in action. The ghost is really good when he's fully upgraded. But to me, overall, at all points in the game, the bee seems to be the best hero in the game. He's so good. Well, I guess it's a she, because it turns into a queen bee when it's fully upgraded. So she's probably the best hero in the game, the bee, when it turns into a queen bee, when it's fully upgraded. Oh, let me pause it. I meant to look at the chat because the day was over. And here comes the cat guy to sell me stuff. No, I don't need any of that. Okay, it's paused. Let me look at the chat while it's paused. Let's see, Gibson asks, how many missions are currently in Star Fox Event Horizon? I've been wanting to play it again. I think there's 20? No, I think there's like almost 40 missions. There's 18 in each campaign. So there's, what's 18 times 2? Oh my gosh, my math is so bad. I think there's almost 40 missions in the version I've released, because there's 18 in each campaign. You can only do 10 in each run of the campaign, so you'll have to go back and go through the other branches to get to the other levels. Or you could go to the mission simulator, and you can hit Control-Shift-S, and it'll unlock all the missions, so you don't have to do that if you don't want. But I think there's just under 40 playable levels in the game right now, in the 2 campaigns that are released. I want to say there's like 36. I think there's 36 levels in the game right now. There's 18 levels in each campaign, and the Lylat and the Soria campaign are out, so I think there's 36. See, Tin Lee is asking, is this game like Settlers? I would say only on the surface. Settlers is actually kind of closer to the Transport Tycoon game I wanted to play. The Settlers is almost like a supply chain simulator. This game, it's really hard for me to compare it to other games because it's like a mash of so many different genres. There's a little bit of SimCity in it with the city building, but not really. It's a bit different from SimCity. And then, with all the heroes up here, there's a tower defense element, especially when you're starting to build the castle wall with the little towers, and then you can get catapults and trebuchets and all these little defensive things that you put on the wall or out in the front. You can get like palisades and like, you know, the little spiked, what are those called? How come I can't remember what they're called? The spiked barriers, the stakes that, you know, point out in the front that, you know, enemies run into and they take damage. I can't remember what they're called. The little stake things that you put in the ground to poke out so that horses won't run into you in a war zone. So there's a lot of tower defense. Even though the game it's not marketed as a tower defense game, but a big part of it is kind of there's quite a bit of a tower defense element to it. The game really seems to market more the city building aspect, but to me the city building aspect is, I don't want to say it's the lesser of the two parts, because you do spend a lot of the time managing the city. But it's also a roguelite, so you're designed to lose. You're designed to unlock stuff on a run and lose, and then use the stuff you've unlocked on the next run to do better. So when you first do the game, you'll be dying like in the first few days. But you'll unlock a new building or a new character or a new item. And you'll unlock more gold and resources on your next starting run. So each time you play through the game, you're more powerful, and you can get further and further in the game until you've amassed, like me, I've unlocked all the different spots in the city. I've unlocked all but one of the characters, and I think I've unlocked every item in the game. So you're able to just kind of like breeze through the whole game, except in certain parts that get kind of hard. But or if I just play really badly or I pick really bad heroes, then it doesn't matter how much stuff I've unlocked, I'll do badly. And then there's all these different cities and stuff and buildings you can unlock around the map that give you stuff too. So it's a really weird mash of different genres. Barricades, that was it. Thank you, little dancing dog. I can't believe I forgot that. Freaking barricades, yes. So it's hard for me to directly compare this to another game because it's really more like parts of several different games. But I would not say it's... Because Settlers is kind of like a supply chain simulator with an RTS element. There's no real RTS in this game at all. Even though you've got soldiers and stuff, the soldiers function more like towers. Which is why I say it's more like tower defense. And the pirates just found this little mana item. I'll put it on the side for now. And the boat found a treasure chest. What's in the treasure chest? Okay, the fish fillet is pretty good. But if I pick the fish fillet, there's no way I can get the griffin because all my fish will get turned into meat. And you need fish to buy the griffin. So I'm going to pick the fish fillet. So yeah, that'll be awesome. Actually, my freaking fishermen aren't getting fish. What's going on, fishermen? I still need one more berry for the... I think the last update made gathering fish a lot weaker. Because normally I'd have like 10 fish by now. So, yeah, I think they nerfed fish in the last update. So yeah, my guys might start starving pretty soon now. I'm going to provoke that guy because then I get that. So yeah, I might actually start losing in the next few days because not doing good with fish. Go fisherman, get fish. Yeah, I'm only going to get 2 fish. This isn't good. Although I can build the wall now, so let me build the castle wall. There, now I got the castle wall. Now I want to start building some towers on it so I can put the death priest up in the tower. Because there's certain characters, if they have this little tower with a check mark thing, if you put them in a tower, their range like more than doubles in some cases. So I want to build a tower for the death priest, so I still need more. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna need one more guy getting wood there. Oh no, that'll give me 4. Okay, perfect. That'll let me get the gate that has a little tower on it. And then I'm going to want to get some more gold. But yeah, I want them to focus on getting berries so I can get more fishermen. Although I have a feeling, even with max fishermen, I'm not going to be getting loads of fish now. Because it looks like they nerfed the fish. I'm going to do that more in the Nature Kingdom. Okay, there I can build another fisher hut. Awesome. Hopefully that works. There goes all the spiders. Here comes some more of the monsters. Is the volume really low? Can you go? I did kind of turn it down low on purpose. Oh, here comes some archers. These archers are also really super annoying if you don't have the right heroes. See, the Death Priest summons these little bubble shields, which are pretty good at holding off those arrows for a little while. But these archer guys are really annoying. If you don't get the right heroes, they're just... I hate those archer guys. The guys with the axes are also super annoying if you don't have the swordsman or some melee guy to take care of them. The vampires, which I don't have the vampire right now, but the vampire's pretty decent against the sword guys, because you know, as the name implies, the vampire, he gains health whenever he attacks someone. So the vampire, even though he has a ranged attack and he's not really hitting the guy with the axe, he keeps attacking all of the monsters and regenerating his health. So the guy with the axe is just endlessly wailing on the vampire, like barely damaging him. But most of the heroes are really bad against those guys with the axes. So if you pick some really bad heroes, those guys with the axes will just kill you so fast. But if you get the right heroes, they're no problem at all. Like the swordsman is the best against the guys with the axes. And I say the vampire is probably in second place. The troll is really good against the guys with the axes. And who else is good against the guys with the axes? The Ent is pretty good against the guys with the axes, because the Ent also regenerates by itself. I think the troll regenerates too. Basically, if someone's got regeneration and a melee attack, they're really good against those guys with the axes. And I wasn't paying attention to what was going on here, so I probably screwed up so badly. I can build the tower at least. So I'm going to put the Death Priest up in the tower. And I'm going to move the bee back here. Oh wow, there's a lot of guys spawning. Like I love all the little bees attacking them. Oh, they might kill my swordsman. No, they killed my swordsman. Yeah, I screwed up already. I'm gonna lose already. Wow, only on day 5. Ah, they killed my bee. Yep, I lost already. Oh my god. Alright everyone, I lost. I mean, I could try again, but... This is a game I don't think I can play with having to multitask, because I have to really focus on what's going on in this game. But if that game looks cool, I highly recommend getting it. It's not that expensive. It's on Steam right now. It's like a one-man developer, and it's one of the best games I've ever played. It's so much fun. It's really hard because it's a roguelike game. So if you don't like getting frustrated, like, you know, starting over and over again, it's got like the Majora's Mask vibe where you're constantly having to do it over and over again. That's a bummer, because I just noticed the prospector, I don't know if you guys can tell on the left side of the screen there, he found a bunch of gold, so that's a bummer. I was doing kind of well, but I didn't get enough fish because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't get the fisher huts in time, and I think they nerfed the fish, so my guys weren't as leveled up as they should have been. So, yeah, I'm going to accept defeat. And, yeah, I didn't unlock anything because I died so fast. Oh, well. I might switch over to Transport Tycoon now. I don't know. I'm actually getting really tired. I didn't think it... How long have I been going? Oh my god, I've been going almost 3 hours. I don't know, guys. Should I play some more games, or should I wrap it up? There's actually still 17 people watching. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Did you see the Sanimation's animation on the voice acting bloopers from... Yes, I did see that, because I gave him those bloopers. Yeah, that was really funny. I probably should release it. I actually have, like, just a giant... I have a ton of bloopers from almost all the voice actors in Event Horizon that I've kind of gathered that I want to put in one really large video. I've kind of been having it building up over the last several years. So one day there'll be a video with just a bunch of bloopers from all the voice actors. Estelle has... I posted some of Estelle's bloopers because they're really funny. Like a few weeks ago, she was doing voiceovers for the Earthwalker Queen, and she had a really funny blooper that I posted on Twitter from that. Let's see. Gibson asks, how much has been added to Star Fox Event Horizon? Depending on the last time you played it, a lot or a shit ton. I don't know. One of those two. See, Little Dancing Dog asks, will Event Horizon have that terrible story with Fox and Crystal that Command did? Well, Command stuff will be in the game, but as far as it being horrible, I hope it won't be horrible. I hope I'll do it better. See, is your bee summon in this game an Easter egg to games like A Link to the Past? Well, the sound the bee makes when it sends out the swarm of bees, it does kind of sound like the little squeaky sound from A Link to the Past. So that might actually be an Easter egg. I didn't catch that. To me, the main Zelda Easter egg I've noticed is the description of the fairy says, "Hey, listen." I know there's a few others, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. The wiki probably says what some of them are. Ice, do you read any Star Fox crossover fan fictions? Back in the day, I used to read Zelda and Star Fox and some fan fiction stuff, but like I'm usually so busy that I don't have time to read loads of stuff, and people are always sending me fan fictions or walls of text to read, and I usually tell people like maybe I'll say maybe I'll look at it, but if it's more than like a paragraph or two, if it's like dozens of pages, I don't have time to read. I haven't read any of my books in months because I just don't have time and stuff, and I don't know. I need to start reading books again. I haven't had time to read, so I usually tell people if they send me something that's more than a few paragraphs, I usually am like I don't have time. I used to read fan fiction stuff, especially Zelda. I used to read a lot of Zelda fanfiction stuff, and most of it was sadly not that good, but it was fun to read back in the day. See, my only Christmas wish is that Event Horizon does make Fox and Crystal end up like... Do you mean doesn't end up like Command? Because they kind of... Fox and Crystal end up kind of hating each other in Command. I think you meant they don't end up like in Command. Unless you mean the one ending you can get where there's one ending in Command where they fix everything, but it's one of the harder endings to get. See, Jimmy Rustler asks, what are your goals with Miu and Faye's characterization in Event Horizon? There ain't much to them in Star Fox 2. Yeah, I have a lot of freedom with Miu and Faye, and over the last like 20 years, like this whole idea of Faye has like been built up in my head. So I have a very, I want to say kind of like good idea of what Faye is like and what's going on with her. Miu for some reason has been a little bit more difficult for me because a lot of fans portray Miu as kind of like almost like a masculine, like tomboy kind of, and I've never really understood why, because the very little bits we have of Miu in Star Fox 2 is she's like super duper girly. You know, she like blows the kiss and everything. So I always thought that was kind of strange that a lot of fans portray Miu as like super duper tomboyish and borderline masculine, because everything in that game seems opposite, where she's like really girly. But I think their original idea for Miu is what ended up being Kat in Star Fox 64. And I don't want to have just yet another version of Kat in the game, like another like super girly, flirty clone of Kat. So Miu's been a lot harder to figure out, but it all kind of clicked with Miu a few months ago. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what's going on with Miu also. I don't want to spoil too much because, you know, I'm working on that part of the game and stuff is going to start, you know, being released bit by bit over the next year or so. So you'll, especially with the animation I'm making right now, once I get the the lines from the voice actors, I think it does a pretty good job of introducing Miu and Faye and like what they're all about. So I guess let me see if I can say it, if there's anything I can say that isn't too spoilery. Well, I guess I can say Miu is the fastest draw in the galaxy. She can draw her gun faster than anyone else. So she has very, very good reflexes. That's less of like a personality trait, though, and more of like just a talent that she has. Faye probably has crippling ADHD. Faye is almost like a squirrel in that regard. Faye is constantly multitasking and like noticing multiple things going on, and is, you know, just kind of, yeah. Faye probably has ADHD. Although I think Crystal has ADHD, but I think that's just because Estelle has really, really crippling ADHD that comes through with the character. Anyway, I don't know. I think I'll keep some of the Miu and Faye stuff a surprise because that's going to be coming out in the next few months. So, let's see. Crystal Kingdom General says, actually, there are many endings where Fox and Crystal fix things. The one many fans find peace with is the Goodbye Fox, where Fox and Crystal marry. So, yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I think there's one other ending where Fox and Crystal, they kind of like stop going at each other and they both come back to the Star Fox team. But you're going to have to remind me. I'm struggling to think of other endings where like things go really well for them. There's the cursed ending. There's the cursed ending which is probably the worst ending, at least for Crystal, where she joins Starwolf and then she becomes cursed after even they ditch her. And then what other endings are there? There's the Falco and Fox join the F-Zero circuit ending. There's the ending where Slippy and Amanda get married. Is that its own separate ending? I'm trying to remember which ending that was. There's the Falco ending where he makes his own team or whatever. So there's 4 endings. There's the default ending, which is kind of the lamest one because it's so non-committal. So I think there's 3 more endings, and I can't remember what they are. So you're gonna have to remind me of the other positive endings because I don't remember any other positive ending for Fox and Crystal other than the one where they get married and the default one where the status quo is kind of back, which I guess is kind of positive considering some of the other endings in that game. But yeah, let me just look this up. Let me look up all the command endings because I'm forgetting 3 of them. Command endings, Star Fox. Let's see. List of Star Fox command endings. Yes, I'm not a bot. I'm a human. Yes, I'm human. It's asking me if I'm human or not. Okay, so oh yeah, there's the Dash ending where he ends up trying to take over the Lilat system. That was one of them. Okay, so the default ending is the team kind of gets back together. That's kind of like the status quo is restored basically at the end of that one. Let's see, the second ending is Goodbye Fox, which is probably the best ending. And then there's the third one is the Anglar Emperor. Which one is that? Okay, that's one where Fox joins Starwolf, but she doesn't become cursed. I don't remember that one. Okay, so the third ending, Crystal does join Starwolf, but doesn't become cursed, so that's a negative ending. And then the fourth ending is Starwolf returns. That's the cursed ending, literally, in more than one way. And then Lucy and Crystal, which ending is this? They throw a party for the Star Fox team. Peppy and Lucy left to remember their lost wife, Vivian Hare, who died shortly after the Lilat. Wait, did Vivian die after the Lilat War? I thought she died before. Anyway, that one is positive though, because that's another ending where she joins the team again. So that one's a positive one. I completely forgot about that ending. And then the next one is the Dash ending where he takes over Venom and then invades the Lilacs. It's not showing up on the screen, is it? I forgot to do the... It's asking me if I'm a bot again. The freaking Star Fox wiki really wants to know if I'm a human or robot or not. Then there's the Slippy ending where he marries Amanda and has his family. Pigma's Revenge, that's where Falco makes his own team. And then the last one is the... So yeah, there's basically 2.5 positive endings in the... There's 2.5 positive endings in Command. There's the status quo one, which isn't really a bad ending, but it's just everything's back to normal. Then there's the Lucy ending where Crystal does rejoin the team and they throw a party. And then there's the one where they get married. So most of the endings in that game are negative. Almost all of them, like, it's such a weird way to end the Star Fox series. I mean, part of me kind of likes the idea that you have to actually work for a positive ending. They have to go through the game to actually unlock the one really good ending. Oh, the Angler Emperor was the default ending? I thought the first one was. So the default ending, Crystal joins Starwolf. Wow. Let me go back. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, the default ending of the game, the first ending you see when you beat the game, Crystal joins Starwolf and the team is like it sucks for... Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, the default ending isn't even a good one. It's a bad one. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do Super Fantasy Kingdom again. It's just too hard to multitask. Super Fantasy Kingdom is a game that I have to really focus on. So I'll do a vote. Since I just discovered how to do the poll, I'm gonna do another question. Play Transport Tycoon or just chill for a while. Or just, let's do Q and A, chill for a while. Q and A. I'll let you guys vote. I'm feeling like democracy's awesome today because I'm too tired to be a dictator. Should I try and play Transport Tycoon, or do you guys just want to do a Q&A for a half hour till 9 o'clock? Well, yeah, most of you are probably in later time zones than me. It's probably past midnight for some of you. I've been going for over 3 hours now. Yeah, you guys let me know what you guys want. If I should play another game or just do a Q&A, and it's like Q&A is winning my life. Oh, seriously, Transport Tycoons? I mean, I'm happy. I love Transport Tycoon. I'm just surprised that a lot of people seem interested in Transport Tycoon. I'm glad. It's a really fun game. And I think I might be able to do a better job multitasking with it, because it's not as crazy as Super Fantasy Kingdom, but I'm very amused that so many people in the audience are interested in Transport Tycoon and me playing it. So it's at 50-50 again. See, Little Dancing Dog says, "You see why I don't want Fox and Crystal ending up like that." Yeah, I think a lot of people were really disappointed. Because also another thing to note about Command, just based on some of the statistics for Steam games that have multiple endings, most people that play a game, they don't try to get all the a game that has a bunch of different endings and stuff. Most people don't try to get all of them. So there probably was quite a lot of players who got Command, they played through it once or twice, and they didn't even get to the positive ending, the few positive endings that are in the game. So there's probably a lot of people that played Command that never even saw the positive endings until they got onto the internet, if at all. So that's why it's kind of weird the default ending for the game is one of the negative endings. Like, I get the point of the game is to replay it to get the other endings and unlock stuff, which, you know, it's fine for me, but most people won't do that. They'll maybe replay it, several times. But most of the positive endings in that game, you actually have to earn them by doing a lot of, like the Goodbye Fox, the one where they get married. If I remember right, that's actually the hardest ending to get in the game. If I remember right, and I don't think I got it until I replayed Command years later. I meant to. Well, it looks like Q&A's windy. I'll keep that in mind, Slug Dolomar. We're up to 11 votes. We'll get to 15 votes, and then I'll just do a Q&A. It looks like Q&A is going to win. And then after that, I'm going to go make a sandwich, and I'll probably go watch Firefly, unless everyone's fallen asleep, and then I'll go to bed, which I've seen the Firefly movie, but I have not seen the Firefly show until a few days ago, and I feel horrible for missing out on it until recently. Because I've tried to watch the show a few times over the last 20 years, but the pilot episode's kind of rough, and I've never really been able to make it through the pilot episode of that show, but a few days ago I finally got through the pilot episode. And now that I've gotten to the show proper, like, it's such a good show. I don't know why they canceled it after once. Not even a full season, like half a season. I'm glad they ended up making the movie to kind of like resolve it, but I'm baffled Firefly is gone and it's 20 years and they haven't done anything with it since 2005. Like, Firefly is so good. And I don't normally, like, I know a lot of people, especially people who grew up in the 90s, they love Joss Whedon stuff like Buffy the Like, I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and all that, but I've never loved it. I don't love Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Angel or any other thing he's done, but I'm sitting here watching Firefly and I'm like, yeah, I see why so many people love this show that's only 14 episodes long, because it's somehow really, really good. I'm only like 3 or 4 episodes in, and it's like, this is like for the start of a new IP, like a new show, like, I'm shocked at how well done it is. I mean, the pilot episode is really rough, but it's a pilot episode. Pilot episodes are usually really rough. Tinley mentions Joss Whedon's Marvel dialogue annoys me. It's annoying, but I can't remember who it was that pointed it out to me. It's something to keep in mind about the Marvel quippy dialogue is Joss Whedon really only did, I think, 2 or 3. I think he only did 2 of the Marvel movies. A lot of that really annoying Joss Whedon style dialogue is people that are not Joss Whedon trying to emulate him, but they're just not, they're not him. If you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of hard for me to put into words, but I think a reason why it's become super annoying is because it's not actually him. It's people trying to emulate him and they don't understand why some of his style worked so well in other things. I'm trying to think of, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm getting pretty tired now. I was going to say a lot of his older stuff, like there's some of that quippiness in it, but it's not like I'm trying to think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, there's times they'll be quippy, but there's a lot of like actual, like, I guess what I'd call heavy moments in Buffy where they don't turn it into a joke. Like, the episode, spoilers for an almost 30-year show if you've never seen it. There's an episode where Buffy's mother dies, and it doesn't like make a joke of it at all. It's like, oh, her mother's dead. You got to deal with it now. So the whole modern phenomenon, I think, is it's people wanting to emulate that Joss Whedon style, but they don't understand how it works, and they don't use it properly at the right moments. And I think it's kind of made that whole style of thing just really unbearable, as you pointed out. So yeah, that whole style has infected all of the Marvel. It's in Star Trek. Like, the people making Star Trek, they've openly said in interviews they're heavily inspired by Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I'm like, Star Trek is nothing like Buffy. Why the hell are you... Like, I can understand if there's some aspects of Buffy that you like that you think might fit in Star Trek, but, like, Buffy is nothing like Star Trek. Why are you trying to make Star Trek like Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And it's horrible. The new Star Trek is so bad. I tried to watch the Strange New World show a few months ago because they put it on one of the streaming services I actually have because I don't have Paramount Plus, which is where it was. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll try to watch the show because I couldn't get... I watched a few episodes of Discovery and it was just so bad I couldn't get through it, and I just didn't keep watching it. But I've heard Strange New Worlds is better than Discovery, and, you know, it's... I've heard some positive things about it, so I'm like, I'll give Strange New Worlds a shot. So I watched the first episode, and then I got to the second episode, and there's a moment in the second episode where they go into Captain Pike's quarters or whatever, and they're having a dinner or whatever, and everyone's talking, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, something feels off, and I can't quite place what it is. The way... It's a thing that's really hard to quantify, like to put into words. There's a way all of the actors are talking and acting that just feels wrong in Star Trek, and it's really hard to put it into words. And I'm just like, I'll keep watching. It's basically a reboot, whatever. Maybe some interesting things will happen, and then the opening credits play, which didn't play in the first episode, and I'm sitting there watching the opening credits, and just something about I hate to sound like a nitpicky nerd, but something about the opening credits just made me decide I'm not going to watch this. So the opening credits are done, and I pause it, and then I just turn it off, and I didn't finish the second episode. I'm like, I'm not going to watch this show. And then I started watching Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is a much better decision. Oh my god. Yeah, the new Star Trek is just not for me. And I don't even think it's a case of like I really like all the older Star Trek stuff and therefore I don't like the newer Star Trek stuff. I'm trying to imagine being someone who's never seen Star Trek before, and the first Star Trek thing they see is the new Star Trek shows. I have a suspicion quite a few people would probably not like it, even if they're not familiar with a lot of the older Star Trek stuff. I don't know, it's really weird, because I'm watching it, and I'm like, this isn't terrible, but something feels really off about it that makes it hard to watch. It's really weird. So yeah, that's my little rant on Star Trek. Oh, we're up to 16 votes. It looks like it's Q&A time. So end poll. Q&A won by 56%, so I guess I'm not doing Transport Tycoon tonight. Sorry, everyone. But you should just get Transport Tycoon yourselves because it's free and it's really fun. Just look up Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. It's free and it's great. Anyway, let me see what you guys have been saying. Vivian died of illness and Crystal got with Fox in Lucy and Crystal. Yeah, that's the second positive ending. I mean, it sucks that freaking Lucy's mother died. The one thing that in the description that caught me off guard is it says she died after the first Lylat Wars, which I don't remember. I thought Lucy's mother died before the Lylat Wars. Like, I thought it was implied she died before 64, basically. But apparently she died after, so that's something I need to think about for Event Horizon, because this whole time I thought the timeline for all that was different. See, funny you should mention Democracy. My story has Star Fox Team fight the Helldivers. I haven't played Helldivers yet, but because it's so big and through osmosis, I'm vaguely familiar with Helldivers and its parody of Democracy. See the votes were tied for a bit. See, I meant to put Q&A. Oh, I saw that earlier. Command was out of character for both Fox and Crystal. Yeah. I would say, to be fair, their characters weren't super developed yet in either Adventures or Assault. There was definitely more going on in Assault with Crystal, though. But so Command really was, because it was such a story-based game, it really was their opportunity to actually flesh them out, and they just made them kind of have a petty drama with each other. Honestly, I have a feeling if Command took place before Assault, it probably would have gone over a little better. Because by Command, they've gone through all the stuff going on in Assault, and presumably they've gone through a bunch of other garbage that was a risk to their lives. And as, countless people have pointed out, it's a little weird that just all of a sudden out of nowhere, Fox is like, oh no, I don't want you to get killed, so you can't be on the Star Fox team. That just seems kind of weird. That would make more sense if it was like at the start, before Crystal had, proven herself, with the R-Wing or whatever. But for some reason they decided, no, they've been flying together for a few years now, and they killed the Aperoid Queen and saved the galaxy, and Crystal almost died like 5 times in Assault. Oh no, now years later, oh no, like I don't want her to get killed, so she can't be on the team, so I'm gonna fire her so that she can just go join Starwolf or the Cornerian army and risk getting killed anyway. It just was such a weird decision for that game, but there's been a lot worse. There's been a lot of worse things that I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I feel like worse things have happened in Zelda than Command. A lot of very strange lore and story things have happened in Zelda that I think are far worse than anything that's happened in Command. So Tenley says, people thought Metroid 4 was made by Whedon? Really? People actually thought Joss Whedon was involved in developing that game? Or do you mean like they just think the game was trying to emulate a Whedon thing, which wouldn't surprise me. New Star Trek is kind of meh. Yeah, Dennis Wask. I haven't watched all of the new Star. I've watched Star Trek Picard, and the first 2 seasons of Picard were just really hard to get through. The 3rd season was much like The Next Generation, much like TNG. The 3rd season of Picard, there's just this random spike in quality kind of out of nowhere, which I thought was funny, because I'm like, it's just like TNG. The first 2 seasons of TNG are so bad and hard to get through, and then the 3rd season of TNG, there's just this massive spike in quality because they like fired everyone and brought in a bunch of new writers and stuff. And I almost feel like the Picard show kind of mirrors that, where the first 2 seasons are just almost unbearable to get through, and then the 3rd season's like, wow, this is actually better, noticeably better than the first 2 seasons, but oh, the show's done now, never mind, that's a bummer. So I've seen Picard. I watched the first, I think, 5 episodes of Discovery, and then I couldn't get there. Discovery I legitimately thought was just Discovery just was bad. And then Strange New Worlds, I watched the first episode and like the first few minutes of the second episode, and I wouldn't describe it as bad like Discovery or even the first 2 seasons of Picard, but there was something that just felt really off about it that I haven't really been able to put into words yet. Like, it almost felt like a completely different show that was kind of wearing a Star Trek skin in a disingenuous sort of way, if that makes any sense. It almost felt like it was a different show trying really hard to pretend to be Star Trek in a very insincere way, which I'd have to think about it because I'm not sure if that's the way I want to describe it, but that's where my mind is going. Like, I felt like the episode I'm talking about where they're in a room having dinner with Captain Pike and they're talking about stuff, and I'm listening to what they're talking about, the way they're talking. I'm like, this conversation that everyone's having here, this scene, it actually feels like it was explicitly written for a different show that is not Star Trek. but for some reason they want it in the Star Trek show. So we're going to do everything we can to make it fit in the I'd probably have to watch more of the show to actually get an idea. Like, maybe that was just like a one-off thing in that show. Maybe that's not normal in the rest of the show. But I feel like I felt like that in the pilot episode of Strange New Worlds 2, where there was things in it that, like, felt like they were originally for a completely different show, and then they're like, oh, we gotta put this in Star Trek somehow. And there was just this really weird, insincere feeling about the show that's kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I just stopped watching it. And I haven't seen Lower Decks yet. I've heard from people Lower Decks is actually really good. But I don't like Rick and Morty, and apparently that show is inspired a lot by Rick and Morty, so I'll probably hate Lower Decks, but I don't know, maybe one day I'll try that one. Is there any other Star Trek shows out that I'm forgetting about that I haven't seen yet that are any good? Let me know, audience. See, Crystal Kingdom General says, Star Trek is no stranger to sharp quality spikes. TNG and DS9 both have those growing pains, if you will. I definitely agree with TNG. TNG, because about a year, might have been a little longer than a year ago, I hadn't watched TNG in a while, and I started watching it again. I watched the first 2 seasons, and oh my god, especially the first season. I actually think the second season of TNG is actually noticeably better than the first. But the first season of TNG is honestly, it's worth watching because it's actually funny how bad it is. There's a few episodes in the first season that are just really funny to watch because of how bad they are. Obviously, the go-to episode is Code of Honor. That one is so bad. And there's behind-the-scenes information about that episode. That's the episode when Yar gets kidnapped and she has to fight Yarina, who has a very similar name, and it's really confusing. She has to fight Luton's wife to death, and there's a scene when they're finally fighting, and it's on this like jungle gym thing that's made of phosphorus fluorescent lights that are made of glass. And apparently when they were filming that scene, the actress that plays Yarina, she slipped and went to grab one of those glass phosphorus lights that are, they have pressure in them, so they pop when you break them. So she grabbed one, and it popped, and all the glass sliced her hands because they spent the behind the scenes of that show. They tried to be as cheap as possible, and there was no safety at all. Oh, I just noticed Gafford's in the chat. Hey, Mr. Gafford. Happy holidays. Hope you're doing well. Your Andros voice and stuff has been released in Event Horizon. Now I forgot what was I I got distracted by a fox in space. What was I saying? Something about TNG. Yeah, the first season of TNG is so wild. I felt like, the Picard show kind of mirrored that, where the first 2 seasons of the Picard show are really, they're really bad. Especially the second, it's really hard to get through the first 2 seasons of Picard, and there's a noticeable spike in quality in the 3rd season. However, with DS9, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I feel like DS9 is amazing right from the pilot episode. And I know this next thing is a controversial thing to say, but I actually think the pilot episode of DS9 is the best episode of DS9 and one of the best episodes of Star Trek ever. I know that's probably really weird to say, but the pilot episode of DS9 is amazing. By the end of, I think it's called The Emissary, by the end of the pilot episode of DS9, it kind of breaks my heart every time I get to the end of the episode when Sisko, because the one thing the pilot episode of DS9 does that's really awesome is it has this really interesting sci-fi idea of dealing with aliens that they legitimately do not understand how time works, because they exist in kind of a state of eternity where they don't understand time in a linear fashion. And, Cisco, he's human, so he lives in a universe with linear time, and he encounters these aliens, and they're so confused by this idea of time that, like, they actually have a problem communicating with each other. And to me, the best episodes of Star Trek are about them meeting some alien that they have a problem communicating with. Like, there's some problem of communication, and the episode is about trying to figure out how to properly communicate with each other, either to solve a problem somewhere else or to solve a problem between them, which is why I say the Arrival movie that came out a few years ago is the best Star Trek movie ever, because that movie's all about trying to find a way to communicate with weird aliens. But anyway, so the kind of central story of the pilot episode of DS9 is trying to find a way to communicate with these aliens that don't even understand how time works. And the interesting thing about this episode is the whole time he's communicating with these aliens, he's trying to get them to understand how linear time works. And he's like, this is how humans exist. We exist in a linear state of events. But by the end of the episode, the exact opposite thing actually happens. The aliens prove the opposite is true, because all of the trauma he had with the death of his wife and stuff, despite the fact that he's experiencing time as linear events, he hasn't left the moment his wife has died. He's stuck in the past in a weird way. And so I thought that was really cool how this pilot episode of DS9, it took this really interesting sci-fi idea and it showed an interesting thing about reality, and that time really isn't actually completely linear, despite the fact that we experience time that way. And after he realizes that he hasn't, that he's been trapped in the past and stuck over the death of his wife, he's able to make a connection with these strange aliens, and these aliens finally understand him. And then the show just never does anything interesting with those aliens after that, unfortunately. But that pilot episode is really good. And I actually think it's the best episode of DS9. And I think most of the first season of DS9 is pretty good too. So I feel like DS9 actually started out really good and just stayed good the whole way through. There's a few bad episodes here and there, but I'd say DS9, like, for the most part, is pretty great. And then Voyager is weird, whereas Voyager is like Russian roulette. Like, it's a complete gamble if you're gonna watch an absolutely amazing episode of Voyager or the worst shit ever. Like, one week you're watching Threshold, and then the next week you're watching The Thaw, and it's just, Voyager's a constant roller coaster of quality. Like, Voyager is all over the place for all 7 seasons as far as, like, the quality of the show goes. And then Enterprise is just alright, and then gets really good in the last 2 seasons. And then I haven't really watched any of the new Star Trek shows, so I don't know if they get better or worse as time goes on. Well, I watched the Picard show. That one definitely gets better towards the end, but the first 2 seasons are pretty bad. See, a fox in space. Everyone's fine, but the front side of my car bumper is... That's really weird, because I was just on the road today, and we passed by a car where... I don't think it was the bumper, but it was the hole over the 2 headlights. The whole side of that car was completely missing, and I'm just like, damn, I really hope that person's insurance rates didn't skyrocket. So I hope that's the case with you too. I hope your insurance doesn't go crazy from that. I'm glad everyone's fine from that. Oh, you hit a lot. How? Oh my God, you hit a lawnmower that, wow. That actually, it wasn't quite a lawnmower, but a few years ago when I was on the freeway, there was a truck in front of me with all of these gardening tools, and it wasn't a lawnmower. I can't remember what it is, but I think it was like the lid to a box, but it was like a really tall lid. And it came flying off this truck full of lawnmowers and gardening stuff in front of me. And it went under my car, but it was so high it got stuck under my car. So I'm like on the freeway going 80, and I just hear like under the car, and it won't go out the back. So I like, oh my God, there's nowhere on the left to pull over. So I try to get over, and I get past the carpool lane, and eventually there's like this place to stop. So I drove like a mile on 8, like going 80 on the freeway with this thing stuck under my car that went flying out from this truck full of gardening supplies in front of me. But holy crap, the whole lawnmower came off. That's crazy. I'm glad you're okay. Like, I can't even imagine going 80 miles on the freeway and a freaking lawnmower comes flying off the truck in front of me. Man, I'm definitely getting tired now. Let's see, what time is it? I'll go for 10 more minutes, and then I'm probably going to get off because I'm getting pretty tired. And I think it's probably past midnight in most of your time zones. Let's see, Neff almost got napped. No, in my case, I think I was fine. In the worst case scenario, like... And there probably was damage under the car that I never noticed, but I don't have that car anymore because it was like a plastic. I don't know if you know those like giant containers that are made of like plastic and they have like really tall lids that have like these lines on them or whatever. It was one of those really tall lids. It like flipped off of one of the boxes on the back of this truck, and then my car was really low to the ground, so it kind of went under my car, but it was tall enough where it got stuck on all the machinery under my car. And that car lasted for a few years after that, so I don't think it did any damage. So I was probably fine. But in Gafford's case, yeah, that lawnmower could have caused a lot more damage if it hit a different part of the car. So that yeah, that is Final Destination shenanigans. It's borderline Final Destination. Anyway, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. It's almost 9 here. Dennis Kowalski, you're in my time zone because it's almost 9 here. 9 o'clock is usually the time I start winding down. Unless I'm really busy, I'll go to midnight and then I start winding down. And I haven't been doing any work for a while now because this has been just a crazy month. And I usually kind of take a break around Christmas anyway, so... let's see. Funnily enough, Gene's involvement in Star Trek was at its peak in early TNG and it declined over time. As TNG increased in quality, Gene's involvement decreased. Yeah. Basically, the entire first season of TNG is exactly what happens when Gene Roddenberry almost always gets his entire way. Poor Gene Roddenberry. And then by the time the third season came along, his health really started to go out the door. So he kind of backed away a bit because he was getting really sick. And then I think by the 4th and 5th season, he wasn't even involved in Star Trek at all. And then he passed away. I think he passed away during the 5th season, or was it the 6th season? It was in 91 he passed away. Let's see, 87, 88, 89, 99. So it's probably the 5th season that he passed away. But from what I read, he was really sick like the last 2 years of his life. But yeah, there's all kinds of behind the scenes story of some of the funny things that I was gonna say. He actually didn't get everything he wanted in the first season of TNG, because if he did, Troy would have 3 boobs and Ferengi would have ginormous cod pieces, and they don't because he didn't get his way. Other people managed to convince him having giant cod pieces on the Ferengi is probably a little too weird for most people. So there's an alternate universe where Quark wears a ginormous cod piece in DS9 where Gene got his way. I think I've caught up with the chat. So I'll answer 1 or 2 more questions and then I'm done. I'm kind of wiped out now. I had some fun playing Super Fantasy Kingdom, but I cannot play that game, and that's a game I have to really focus on because there's just too much stuff going on. And you guys voted for a Q&A, so I didn't get a chance to play Transport Tycoon to see if I could do that. Let's see. Carda, I am going to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Can I just call you Cardassian? Cardinelge? Am I saying it right? Say, I'm heading to bed. Hope you have a good night, Ice Cream Man, as well as everyone else. Merry early Christmas and all. It's probably Christmas Eve in quite a few of your guys' time zones. It's almost Christmas Eve in my time zone, but thank you regardless. You have a Merry Christmas too. Let's see. Maniac Mitrandir. I see some Cyrillic text. I don't know Russian. I'm assuming that's Russian. I should, though, because my family is descendants from Eastern Europeans, so I should learn my ancestral languages, but I haven't, so I can't read Cyrillic. I know Mr. Gafford can, though, so if he's still here, he can probably read what you said there. Maniac Mitrandir? Or is it Mithrandir? Mithrandir, like Gandalf Mithrandir? Or is it Mitrandir? I don't know, I'm so tired. Spontaneous dyslexia. I'm off. Yeah, I see people are saying they're living, so I'll just wrap up the stream here. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this very, very super random, spontaneous, last-minute live stream where I showed Star Fox stuff and I kind of played Super Fantasy Kingdom, but failed horribly because I can't play that game while multitasking. Sometime in the next week, Estella and I are going to be doing a kind of Christmas stream, but we haven't picked a day yet because she's super duper. Every year she's super. Like the first year I met her, we were going to do a Christmas stream. And she ended up being super duper busy in December. And same thing the next year and last year. And so this year, I didn't even suggest it. She's like, we got to do the Christmas stream this year. And I'm like, we're not going to do it because you're going to be super duper busy. She's like, no, we'll do it. We'll do it like the day before Christmas Eve or just a few days before Christmas Eve. And I'm like, all right. I think that happened on a live stream too. So there's one of my live streams where that happened where she's like, we got to do the Christmas stream. I'm like, it's not going to happen, right? And lo and behold, it didn't happen because she ended up being super duper busy right before Christmas, as always. And frankly, the last few days have been pretty horrible on my end. So unless it happened today, I probably would have canceled it if we had set it up sometime in the last few days. So, but anyway, we're going to do it. We're going to try and do it before New Year. So I might be streaming with her in the next few days. And hopefully that will be a really happy stream. Not hopefully, it will be. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you all have some awesome food for Christmas, because I'm going to have some awesome food for Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you guys still have an awesome day, whatever holidays you celebrate, whether it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or nothing at all. Just have a good time out there, because life can end at any moment. Things can get pretty darn bad, and if you have a chance to hang out with family and people you love and eat good food while doing it, take it every time you can. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, it says I'm not live anymore. Am I still live? Did I already stop this? No, it's still playing over there. I'm having a tech boomer moment. OBS says I'm not live, but YouTube says I am live. Anyway, I'm going to hit the end stream button on YouTube and see if that cancels it.